the supporters and everyone that comes down. And I mean, you look out here tonight, you look at the kids from our junior club just running out in the ground there now. You know, they've had their jumper presentation over there, and they've, you know, all the parents have come over here tonight. It's a fantastic night for the club, you know. We've got an Auskick grid match at half-time, so it's a real sort of community thing that we've put on for tonight, and I think with the initiative between the two coaches and myself and Ron, it's really come off really well.
How long ago was this game envisaged by the Bayswater hierarchy? How long ago has this been a plan set in place for the Bayswater Football Club?
Oh, look, once the lights were finished late last year, we obviously realised that we couldn't play a night game that late in the season.
Yep.
It was too hard to fixture it. So it was always going to be the start of the season that we'd play a night game and try and get it in early, obviously, due to weather. It was probably more an initiative between the two coaches. I mean, obviously, Neil and Ryan are very good friends off-field as much as that. And I really only found out about it when Winnow came to me and said, I've got this idea. And he'd pretty much spoken to Ryan about it, and Ron, because he has that affiliation previously with the guys at Mulgrave, and he came to me and said that. And I just thought it was such a fantastic idea, you know. We can sort of make something out of it, you know, with the relationship between the two sort of coaches, and it's just a fantastic, you know, something to put together that quickly. And, you know, once we realised that's what we were going to be doing, the planning sort of started from there on in.
Now, look, the game's up, nearly ready to go. And look, just looking over the other side of the ground, people are streaming into the ground here. But how many volunteers would you have working out there tonight?
Oh, look, tonight we've mostly got a lot of our playing group that are out there, our reserves and our under-19s, which obviously play tomorrow. I've sort of tasked them with the chore, if you like, to come out here and help the senior side tonight, you know, run the water, do all that sort of thing, man the gate, man the barbecues, you know, sell the beer in the tents and all that sort of thing. We've got our veteran side manning one tent for us. So as a club, we've got a lot of people that, you know, will come on board and help us get through these sort of games, you know. I mean, obviously when we host First Division finals, we don't have any issues. We always have that great big volunteer base to sort of call and count upon, which is fantastic, and I appreciate every one of them.
Yeah, and Mark, and one of those people we actually had on one of our midweek programs, The Huddle, early on in the week is Dale Rowie, and we know he doesn't yet have an official capacity yet at the club, but he's been a great person down here, and he's one of those people that you mentioned that really make Bayswater the club that it is, because everybody gets hands on decks because you're proud of being the number one ground in the EFL.
Oh, look, we certainly are, and as you know touched on there with Dale, I mean, he's done a lot of fantastic work in EFL football as much as, you know, for us, and, you know, his previous club that he was at, Forest Hill, and he's a fantastic bloke. Nothing's too hard to get him to do, you know. You ask him to do something, then he'll get it done, you know. I think I've pretty much convinced him to help out in some sort of role. We'd just work out what it is. I think he's sort of come here tonight and he's upstairs as a guest and he's sort of looking at the ground, looking at the Oval and the players, and you know what he's like. You won't be able to stop him trying to get back into it.
Now, we love being up here on the balcony at Bayswater Oval, the best spot to call football in the Eastern Football League, and there always seems to be a function happening on behind us, and it seems like you've got one tonight, and no doubt there's a couple more coming up over the next few weeks. Yeah,
look, we do have a couple of functions. Obviously, each home game will have a luncheon up here. We've got a player function tomorrow night, and I guess most clubs do, with the first game of the season. But first and foremostly, you know, we haven't got a lot of specific functions planned out, but there is a few things that we've got in the pipeline to sort of do with our veterans team and our female team that we've got, the VWFL, the Bayswater Bombers, that we sort of plan to do a lot of those things on a Sunday and make some sort of family days here. We have the Auskick in the morning, so we've got a lot of plans sort of coming up, and nothing that I'll sort of reveal to.
Sorry, I think we just might have just turned you off there accidentally, but keep going.
Yeah, look, I mean, look, we've got a few things in the pipeline, and we're hoping to play a few more night games, and I mean, it purely depends on the weather and all that sort of thing, but I mean...
Barely rains in Melbourne anyway these days.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, I think Sydney's a wetter town than we are, so we should be fairly right weather-wise. You know, once we get into that winter period and the ground doesn't get too chopped up, we should be fine.
Mark, the ground is in absolutely magnificent condition. Yes. The lights are working beautifully. Everything seems to be going well. The crowd is really starting to stream in. The gates are shut. You can't park in here. All things are going well at the moment. We really do appreciate you joining us here on EFL Game Day, and good luck for the game.
Thanks very much, Ben.
Beautiful stuff. Mark Rooney, the president of the Bayswater Football Club, joining us here on EFL Game Day. There it is. We're about 4 minutes away from game time. The siren has gone for the umpires. They've brought the ball out. Mulgrave is out on the ground. Bayswater's out on the ground, and it's pretty good. You can see Bayswater pretty clearly over the other side as well. So we're all set to go here on EFL Game Day. You can join in anytime via text 0419 654 082. Or if you get the game, tweet away at @FootyEFL or hashtag EFL Div2 for tonight's Division 2 clash between Bayswater and Mulgrave. Or have your say on Facebook, www.facebook.com/footyefl. And of course, we're streaming tonight now on efl.org.au. So looking forward to seeing how it all plays out this evening. Time to welcome our stats man into the commentary position. He's always very excited, but he's particularly excited because his boys, his club, Bayswater, is playing tonight. It's a good evening to Will Taylor.
A very good evening to you, BW. Looking forward to this game. Under lights here at Bayswater Oval, and looking forward to a great contest.
Certainly will be. Where do you see this one going? And is there a particular player that you're certainly on the lookout for tonight?
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, Hayden Schroeder, who had a great year last year for Bayswater, came second in the best and fairest for the club in the under-19s, and he came sixth in the reserves for Bayswater in the club best and fairest. So he's going to be definitely the one to watch out for Bayswater, no doubt. And for Mulgrave, look, it'd be interesting to see how Luke Parker, the captain, will go today.
Well, let's try and get some tips from the guys. I'm sure Will's going for Bayswater. We don't even have to ask him. Ray, a final tip from you.
I'm going for Mulgrave by probably 10 or 11 points, Ben.
It should be a close game. I think Peter Baird, who will win and why?
I have the courage of my convictions. I tipped Bayswater earlier in the week. I'm going to stand by that. I think Mulgrave will get closer to them with the inclusion of Tim Knowles, but I'm going to go with Bayswater. I think they're going to be too quick for this Mulgrave side. They're going to like to run and spread from the contest. It's been a focus for the way Neil Winston's coaching his team this year. I reckon they can get the job done by 2 to 3 goals.
Let's quickly cross down to our Kira Urgent Care Boundary Riders boundary side for the first time tonight. Let's cross down quickly to Damien Watson. Your tip, please, sir.
Well, Benny, I have to go with Mulgrave tonight. I think they're on the up after a relatively promising second half of the season last year in Division 2, but it is a great atmosphere down here at ground level. Weather-wise, the temperature is currently hovering around the 21-degree mark after reaching a maximum of 25 this afternoon. The temperature should only drop to around about 18 degrees by the end of the match, so we can expect a relatively balmy night for football, and those are always pleasant conditions under lights. And speaking of the lights, they have a brightness level, I am told, of 150 lux, so the visibility is satisfactory, and it's a great sight down here. As for the surface, it's in immaculate condition, so the curators have done an admirable job over the off-season. And in regards to the wind, it is a still night with no goal advantage. Let's hope it's going to be a ripper, Braden Ingram.
Thanks, Damien. Well, look, I think the key thing to note down here is there's not really any dew. You noted the temperature around 20 degrees. It's going to be pretty good, conducive footy, hopefully pretty clean footy. So we'll see a pretty quality game. And as far as my tip goes, I think Bayswater today. I think Mulgrave are on the way up, and Bayswater is certainly going to be tested tonight, but I think they'll get up by single figures.
Great work, Braden and Damien. Damien Watson. Watch out Rebecca Judd on 9 News weekly during the day. Very nice work there from Damien. Always does a great job. BWS, I know you've certainly been looking forward to this game for a long time. 6 months in the making, this game.
Yes.
Who do you think will win and why?
I've been tossing and turning over this game, Ben, and hearing various people's opinions and speaking to players and coaches at both clubs at the season launch last week. It really is a toss of the coin game. I lean towards how Ray's gone about things. I like the look of Mulgrave. They improved in the latter part of last year and expect them to improve. We know that Bayswater are going to go in as a smaller side this year, so it'll be an interesting game. Let's hope it's a close one because there's a great crowd down here and we're pumped for it, Ben.
Certainly pumped for it. The players are just making their way into position. Mulgrave are already in position. The Bayswater boys have just broken from their huddle. They were addressed by Joel Galvin. Some interesting moves. Daniel Rajab, who was that player from Northcote Park that Neil Winston talked about beforehand, he's starting smack bang in the middle, number 1. And in the ruck for Bayswater, looks like Daniel McLaughlin as well. Alan Cleven will be in there. Adam G also in the middle of Bayswater Oval. But we're set for a start here on EFL Game Day on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM and of course streaming live on efl.org.au. It's all thanks to the EFL mobile app, m for mother.efl.org.au in your mobile browser and press add to home screen for mobile access to the latest EFL news and scores from all around the league. We're set for a start here on EFL Game Day. It's Ben Warren-Smith.
This is where the dreams begin. The umpire in the middle of Bayswater Oval knocks it out. Came down to Cleveland, knocked it straight down. We'll have another restart. The umpire's actually pulled out a free kick here. It'll go pushing the back. It'll go the way of Mulgrave. So the kick now goes up towards the half-forward line, and that's a good kick too. And coming out and taking a strong mark there is Gilling. He wants to keep the ball moving inside forward 50. The kick just fell short at the fall of the ball where was Jameer. He got the handball back. That was okay. Butler snaps it around the body. It goes deep towards the forward pocket, but getting back and taking a nice solid mark for Bayswater was Russell Coombe. So the right forward back pocket. Forward back pocket. That doesn't make sense, does it? But the handball went AWOL in there too. Was Wazza for Mulgrave. He laid the tackle too. Kept the ball in there too, Pete. That was really good pressure by the Mulgrave forwards. They've started off okay. Yeah,
that's really great intensity they've shown. They don't want to let that ball be run out of defence quite easily by the Bayswater defenders, so they're on their game early on.
The umpire throws it up. It was knocked away at the fall of the ball. They're going to have David Wazza Mulgrave, but he paddles it towards the boundary line and out of bounds. They've reached the defensive 50 Mulgrave, so Mulgrave to reload.
Any interesting matchups you've noticed so far, gents?
I think they're still trying to find their feet and try and get those matchups they're trying to institute from both coaches.
Gilling made the front spot and then he got down on hands and knees. That was good plays, getting amongst it early. Players around the ball screaming for holding the ball. The umpire doesn't want a bar of that early in the piece. Only gone a couple of minutes here, or a minute and a half on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and it's inside Mulgrave's forward 50.
So the ball up will occur 50 metres out from goal. Ball comes to ground. Rajab was there, but he sees the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. 55 metres around from Mulgrave's goal. They're kicking to the right of your radio dial towards the Mountain Highway end. A packed crowd, plenty of cars around. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast if you're sitting and listening in your car this evening. Scrappy start, and Joel Galvin applies a tackle. Mulgrave inch 5 metres further forward. Umpire looks like he's put out a free kick after the tackle, though, and it will go the way of the Waters. So Joel Galvin, the reigning Kenneth Wright medalist, the best player outside of Division 1. He chips it over the top. Mark taken here by Ryan Hanley. He'll look to rebound off half-back. He switches it out towards the outer side on a long lead. Couldn't quite take it in the end. Taken by David Wazer. Goes inside 450. Jameer was there. Couldn't pick it up. Bayswater have the numbers at the fall of the ball. The kick was a scrubber off the boot. Goes in towards the middle of the ground. Not able to quite take clean possession. Bayswater paddle at forward. A high tackle. Was paid there by the umpire. And the Waters will have a free kick. Galvin gets a quick hand pass off. A high kick inside 50. Towards the advantage of McInerney. The ball thumped away from him and seeing it over the boundary line and out of bounds is Matt Young, 35 metres around from goal.
Really like how hard Mick Harrington worked for the Bayswater side.
Your boy.
He actually made 2 contests on the wing, followed it down there. He's got the pace to really burn. He's really showed he was able to get to that contest deep in the forward pocket as well.
Cleveland went in there up and got the tap down, and Mulgrave will get the clearance on the outer side. High kick towards half back. No one able to quite take it cleanly for either side. Players on hands and knees. Bayswater want holding the ball and they won't receive it. Yet to score here. We've played 3 minutes on EFL Gameday, all thanks to the EFL mobile web app. Wherever you're listening, 98.1 FM or through efl.org.au. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Ball comes out for the Waters. Winterton dropped it. Picked up by G. Adam G is the man. Tries to extract the football, but to no avail. Umpire blows his whistle, and it looks like a free kick will be paid to Luke Parker of Mulgrave, and he'll receive the free kick on halfback. Bayswater Mulgrave yet to score here on EFL Gameday.
So Parker wants to square things up, kicks it into the middle of the ground. It was an okay kick too. He was looking for Ryan. That got fisted away from him. Quickly scooped up there by McLaughlin, the big man. He kicked it up towards half forward at the fall. The ball was Leach. Couldn't quite trap it. Right on his hammer there is Sandlin. Got the handball away in the nick of time. Jameer is there. He got gang tackled. There's 2 over him. The umpire will come in and bounce this one just outside the centre square. It's about 75 metres out from the Bayswater goal. We've gone 4 minutes, but no score yet, Pete.
Yeah, really interesting matchup out there. Luke Parker, the captain of Mulgrave, actually playing on Neil Winston, the playing coach of Bayswater. So that's going to be a fascinating one to watch all night.
Cleven eventually got the tap down. The umpire's letting this ball go. That was okay by Sia Coulis, the new vice captain for Mulgrave. He copped one high and he'll get a free kick.
Holding the ball.
Oh, actually, really?
Yep.
So it's been paid against him. So Winterton now, inside forward 50. That was an all right looking kick. It was chopped off by Wellsford though. Bayswater still got the number. Snap around the body by Murphy. The first shot on goal for the year. And that is the first goal indeed, 2013. That's a highlight for EFL TV next week as Bayswater kick the first goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've gone 5 minutes now. It's 1 straight 6. Mulgrave yet to score.
Really shows the value of that quick kick deep into the forward line. He was able to isolate Murphy in there, and when the ball fell to the front of the pack, just swung around onto that left boot there. A fantastic shot on goal and a great start for the Waters.
Ray Baird, some of your early scenes and
Look,
how you're going
it's quite obvious there, Ben, that there's two different styles of play here. But Bayswater, they're running the ball, keeping it low, whereas Mulgrave, they're kicking it more high. And but the dominance of Cleven so far in this game is certainly a big plus for Mulgrave.
Knowles got a hand pass off to Searcoulis. A kick inside 50 is good, and Ben Gilling takes the mark. And he will go back directly in front and look to put through Mulgrave's quick reply to make it all level.
I know you talked about this guy pre-match, Peter Baird, and his return to the club. He's already presenting very well early on.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, football's such an easy game. If you can get the ball quickly down to the forwards, they're generally so good one-on-one, and there's that situation there. Ben Gilling just didn't let these midfielders down.
Gilling directly in front, shouldn't have too many issues, and he slots it through the middle. The umpire had to do a little bit of dancing to the left, but Mulgrave get the scores back to level, and a nice little contingent of Mulgrave supporters as well. 1 straight 6 here between Bayswater and Mulgrave at Bayswater Oval. 6 minutes gone here on EFL Game Day.
Mulgrave got that goal because of the dominance of Cleven. They got the clearance out of the centre. They went straight down the corridor, and Gilling there presented himself and taking a very strong mark and obviously kicked the goal.
Really like the work of Dean Searcoulis around those midfield stoppages as well. He's been fantastic. He was able to get that clearance then as well for Mulgrave, get the ball deep down to Gilling, who was one-on-one and too good for his opponent.
All square on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. That time it will give it to McLaughlin, but the handball came out there by Jameer. The kick goes up towards a half-forward line, bounces wrong and towards the wing in the end. It was nicely picked up that time by Sandlin. He kicks it inside forward 50. Once again, Gilling came out. He couldn't quite trap it, the big man. He got down low, but just pushed it over the boundary line and out of bounds. It's about 45 metres out from the Mulgrave goal.
I reckon that's number 59. I reckon that's Tim Knowles out there running.
It is.
So he's not 75.
No, he's 59.
So Knowles, once again, he's had a bit of it early as well. Got the handball away. He was dispossessed, but Bayswater, they're going to get away with this. The handball was intended for Rajab, but running across the wing and kicking up in towards the centre square line. Chopped off by Parker this time. They're doing okay here, Mulgrave. Jameer. Tell you what, this guy's getting a bit of it early too. Him and Gilling are working quite nicely, and he goes in that direction again, but the kick was chopped off nicely that time by Hayden Schroeder. Got talked up big time in the pre-match, and rightfully so too. He chips it across the ground. Ryan Handley. It's his first touch for 2013. It was a scrubber of a kick. Gilling's going to chop this one off. He put his body on the line too. He nearly could have copped a high tackle. There's still players around the ball. Handley, he did well to back himself up. Got the handball away to Coombe, and Coombe clears for the Waters.
He does. He goes out towards halfback, was looking for Leach, just went over his head. Seeing the ball almost over the boundary line and out of bounds was Liam Wellsford, and he does now. Mulgrave, at the moment, Bairds, I should say, just looked like they got their measure. They're setting up quite well across the middle.
They're setting up very well when the ball's down in their forward line. When Bayswater get a mark or free kick, Mulgrave's got that wall across the centre-half back line, and Bayswater, they have to do a little short backward kick or across the ground.
Free kick's been paid here to Jaden Murphy out of the stoppage. Umpire's just conferring now to confirm it. And he switches the play now across half-back. Bayswater 1 straight 6, Mulgrave 1 straight 6 here on EFL Game Day. The ball comes out to Russell Combe. Got the ball in his back pocket, chipping the ball around. Dangerous kick, but it works out okay in the end for McLaughlin. Gets a hand pass off. They're off and running. A dangerous kick into the middle, putting his body on the line there was Azuzan, the new player from Northcote Park. He wore one. That could arguably be his first touch. Welcome to the Eastern Football League. Azuzan's got it now in the middle. Running hand pass, Handley again, getting plenty of the footy early on. His kick up towards half-forward wasn't the best, but it might work out okay here for McLeod. Left foot spearing ball is very nice as well. The mark's being taken here by that man in Burton. Goes inside 50. McInerney's going to be at the fall of the ball. Here he is, the little master. Wayne McInerney around the body. The kicked up towards the top of the goal square. Thumped over the boundary line and out of bounds, but a free kick's been paid, I think, to Bayswater against Henderson, or for Henderson.
To Mulgrave.
It is to Mulgrave. So Seb Henderson takes the ball at half-back and he goes short. Finds Luke Parker. Had a fair bit of the ball early. Roaming around the left half-back line. The Lions have it now. All scores level. 9.5 minutes gone here in the first term. Ball comes to ground now. Bayswater having this opportunity. Kick inside 50 to absolutely no one. And that man, Naru Jamer, dropped what he should have taken, but he might have a second opportunity now. Tries to weave some magic, surely holding the ball. And he was too. Bayswater take the advantage. Little chip over the top by Combe towards the advantage of his playing coach. Winterton goes this way then that way. Then a little opportunity here for Bryce Galvin. Kick towards goals, just off to the right-hand side. And the first blemish on the scoreboard goes to Bayswater. They are 1-1-7. Mulgrave 1 straight 6. 10 minutes gone the first term.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Braden Ingram.
Yeah, boys, Joel Galvin copped a little hit about 2 or 3 minutes ago. He looks to be holding his right arm. He's still on the field. Just going to keep an eye on him for a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Braden. Mulgrave doing it slowly. Out of the last line of defence, the kick goes towards the far side of the ground. It was a 3-on-1 situation. Mitch Galvin, he got his handball over the top. It really went to no one. Everyone's going for kicking in danger. It eventually will be a free kick to Mulgrave. They want to keep the ball moving quickly. Nicely done there. Oh, a great mark taken by Murphy. So on the second bite, just waiting for players to stream down. Taking his time, wants to size up this kick. It was a cute one too. It was okay. So just outside the defensive 50, Hall goes inside. It was a wobbly-looking kick. It fell straight into the arms of Cheeseman. Dropped what he probably should have taken, but they've got the numbers at the last line of defence. Mulgrave, the long kick goes up towards the wing position, but it's a little bit like kick-to-kick at the moment as the ball falls back in towards Bayswater's arms. So Schroeder now, just inside the centre square, goes backwards to go forwards. The kick goes up towards the half-forward line now, and taking a really strong mark there was Jaden Murphy. Crosses the 50, centering ball. It was a skew-F kick off the boot. It goes out of bounds on the full, and Mulgrave will look to rebound it through Matt Young in the back pocket.
Joel Galvin was the target on that occasion. He's playing deep in the goal square at the moment, so he's back on the ground. Good signs there for the Waters. Young goes up towards half-back. Ball comes to ground. And Parker, once again, able to get the contested possession. Kicks up towards the middle of the ground. Knowles from behind. He couldn't quite take the mark. Now the ball comes towards the Waters' advantage. Murphy wasn't able to quite take it. Umpires pulled out a free kick for a hold. And it will go the way of the Lions. And they'll look to play on quickly. They look to play on at all opportunities at the moment, the Lions. The kick up towards the wing position right in front of us here in the broadcast side. Mark taken by David Wazer. Left foot chipping ball. Up towards true centre wing position. No one able to quite take the mark.
Boundary.
And it will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Damien Watson, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
There's been a number change for the Mulgrave Football Club. Alex Liolios is dotting the number 60 Guernsey instead of the number 40 Guernsey.
Thanks, Damo. He was the guy who went up for that mark just beforehand, so appreciate your good work there. Umpire has a look at this footy as players converge, and we'll see a ball up true centre wing position broadcast side.
I feel, Ben, that both sides are wasting opportunities. There's been a lot of turnover in this game. They're winning the ball well, both sides, but they're just turning the ball over.
Bit nervous, maybe, both teams at the moment. Mulgrave certainly have an advantage at the moment in the ruck, with Cleven getting the tap down, then following up, but wasn't able to quite extract the football.
I think it's just a sign of early season jitters. Both teams just looking to find their feet, get their hands on that footy and get in real match conditions.
Adam G comes back onto the ground, an important player for Mulgrave. Was, I think, their best vote getter in the Kenneth Wright medal last year. G players really going in ferociously at the footy at the moment. Ball finally comes out, but straight to the advantage of Bayswater. Handpass come out from that man in McLeod, but Mulgrave have the numbers now. The kick up towards the half-forward area is very nice. Mark almost paid. It wasn't paid in the end. Bayswater have the numbers. They'll look to conversion the football and hold it up. That was an opportunity for Mulgrave gone begging. Bayswater 1-1-7. Mulgrave 1 straight 6. Will Taylor for Choose Tap, some stats that matter.
Yeah, at the moment the turnover is Mulgrave 13 to Bayswater 8.
So ball goes up. Tim Knowles extract the ball from the stoppage. The kick up towards the half-forward line, just letting it bounce. In the end was that Mulgrave player with the orange boots, and that man is Seb Henderson. Now, Ryan James said he was going to be a bit of a player to watch, a bit of a media team favourite with those orange boots. So watch out for him. Boundary throwing occurs. Third man up over the top that time was Dwyer. And the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Mulgraves have got a very good structure. While the ball's in their forward line, you look across their half-forward line, they've got a wall of players across there so that when the ball comes out, they've got the numbers.
Thanks for joining us here on EFL Gameday. Snap around the body by Ben Gilling was smothered off the boot. G goes in, tries to win a hard footy, but Bayswater again putting some great tackling pressure on. Hanley's in there with Schroeder, and we'll see a ball up 30 metres out from goal. 1-1-7 the Waters, 1 straight 6. the Lions. 14 and a half minutes gone here in this first term. Thanks for joining us on EFL Game Day on 98.1 FM or on efl.org.au. G again goes in, wins a hard footy, and he's earned himself a free kick. So Adam G, a very important player for Mulgrave, will go back from about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, and look to put through Mulgrave second.
Shows the value of going in and putting your head over the ball.
Yep.
Early on in the year, you're going to be rewarded with a free kick when you do that, when players are a little bit indiscriminate, wanting to lay their hands on the ball or lay their hands on as laying a tackle.
Tim Knowles might have won the leader young gun last year, but Adam G was the leading vote getter for Mulgrave in the Kenneth Wright medal. He comes in, starts at left. It looks pretty nice off the boots and it hits the post. So Adam G puts through Mulgrave's first blemish on the scoreboard. We're all tied up here. 1-1-7 at Bayswater Oval, Bayswater and Mulgrave. 15 minutes gone here on EFL Game Day.
Will Taylor, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, Mulgrave absolutely dominating the clearance at the moment. 10-3 at the moment in favour of Mulgrave.
Well, the ball was kicked up towards the wing position. It ended up becoming a loose footy, and Mulgrave are going to go forward. It was Bayswater through Winterton. The kick went up towards Edwards' direction, dropped what he probably could have taken. The co-captain got it to Cheeseman. He's wrapped up in a tackle. The umpire might come in and bounce this one. In fact, he's giving away another free kick. There's been a lot of free kicks being given to the Mulgrave back line. Says a couple of things there. Bayswater forwards are going in hard, but in fact, there's been a 25-metre penalty paid here. Did you see that was for Ben?
Think a bit of back chat, I think, by the Bayswater player. Might be Joel Galvin, in fact.
So as I was saying, there's been a few early free kicks being given down that end of the ground, so they just want to watch themselves here. The handball this time goes up towards the wing position, and a half forward coming out once again is Ben Gilling, and he takes a strong mark. He wants to square things up, and that's the way to go. Tui goes towards the Henderson direction, nicely knocked away that time by Darren Murphy. He had support running in Mitch Galvin. He's going to clear it for the Waters, and it was a nice strong kick too, because he found Brereton, got the handball away, put his team out under a lot of pressure, and now the Lions are going to have another chance to go forward. The kick goes deep inside forward 50, over the back, nearly taking a mark was Big Booth. He couldn't quite take it. Bayswater once again are doing okay there at the last line of defence. Coombe on the left boot, on his opposite boot, he did well to clear it out of the danger zone. The ball's paddling right towards the boundary line. Can it be kept in? It is now. Picked up there by Ozuzen. He balked one and then went into the middle of the ground. That was a smart kick too, because he's found his teammate in Damien Murray right in the middle. The man in the dreadlocks goes wide. That was okay. He finds Leach. He wanted to go for the 1-2. Instead, he turned his player inside out and kicked it in towards the middle of the ground. That was the right option to go as well, because the intended target was Ryan, but the kick just fell short and Mulgrave chop it off once again.
Welsford was the man who took that mark, and he's got a player inboard. Here's Tim Knowles. He looked for Booth, or he looked for Gilling, and he takes the mark. He's presenting very nicely at the moment, Ben Gilling, and he'll go back tight angle for a right footer, but he's 40 metres out from goal and look to put through his second and Mulgrave second. So Ben Gilling presenting very nicely across half forward at the moment. Adam Booth is probably the most well-known player for Mulgrave up forward, but Gilling is doing a nice job at the moment. His kick is very nice off the boot. It's a little right. The goal umpire did a little bit of dancing like he did for his last goal, but Gilling puts it through and Mulgrave hit the lead. 2-1-13 the Lions. Bayswater 1-1-7. 17 and a half minutes gone here in the first term on EFL Game Day.
What's really impressed me so far is the way Ben Gilling is presenting himself down forward. He's giving Mulgrave a real target, and look, they're using him at every opportunity.
And what beautiful disposal you see there from Tim Knowles, being able to hit him lace out. He just shows he's a class above this Eastern Football League competition. It's the way he moves and his disposal. He's a fantastic player.
Almost moving into time on for the first time in 2013. The umpire balls it up now. No clear knockout that time, but Mulgrave are going to get the clearance. That was really good play. Knowles inside forward 50. The kick's going to go towards the Gilling direction again. He didn't have front spot that time. Galvin's right on his hammer. He needed Coombe to come in for support. He was right there. Clean skills usually. That was good. Got the handball, got the kick towards Handley. He moved it along quickly, and Bayswater have created the switch across the other side of the ground, and Leach takes a good mark. So they just slow things up a little bit here. Good turn of speed. The kick goes towards the middle where Rajab has taken it. He probably could have gone on with it too. Instead he does. So now the kick was an absolute shocker though. Kicked it up towards half forward. Mulgrave almost caught at the last line of the fence. The umpire's pinged. He's pinged Robert Edwards. That was very stiff. Advantage just paid inside forward 50. And the umpire let that one go. And he's come back and said, yep, yeah, he's squared things
paid
up
the
there.
Advantage, yep.
But the mark has been taken inside forward 50 by Bryce Galvin, and he'll have a shot for goal for Bayswater to square things up, Pete.
And we've got a number change for Mulgrave there. Lachlan Ryan is number 9. He was down on our list as number 4.
Thank you very much, Ray. So it'll be Galvin, one of 3 playing tonight. Bryce. He'll kick from about 40 metres out. 45-degree angle. Comes in now. He pushed it across the face from the get-go and he scrapes it in for one behind
Boundary.
in the end. Bendigo Bank scoreboard reads Bayswater 1 goal 2-8, still trailing Mulgrave 2-1-13. As we cross down boundary side, thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Damien Watson.
You speak of early season jitters, boys. A number of players are struggling to adapt to the match day intensity already, and they're feeling the pinch on the bench for both sides.
Good on you, Damo. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Ripping crowd at the moment, gentlemen. That's not a ripping kick, though, from Leicester. It's gone out of bounds on the full. And we'll see a free kick going the way of Daniel McLaughlin. He's got players in board, a lot of Bayswater players behind the footy. He goes inside, 53 on 1 in favour of Mulgrave. Leicester put his head over the footy and earned his kick back there. So he'll, in fact, it's not Leicester, it's Darren Butler, who looks pretty comfy in Division 2 footy at the moment. Well, of course, he played for Upper Ferntree Gully last year. He's come over to Mulgrave. He looks comfy in a Mulgrave jumper. The ball comes out now to Matt Young off halfback. High kick up towards true centre wing position. Ball comes to ground. Nicely trapped there by Galvin. But Mulgrave just wanted that little bit more at the moment. Hand pass comes out to Wazer. Left foot kick around the body. Was looking for Siakoulis. He loves the big stage, Dean Siakoulis, but he couldn't keep it in on that occasion. Boundary throw in 70 metres around from Mulgrave's goal.
Just their intensity around the stoppages is so much better at the moment, Mulgrave. They're putting their head over the ball. They're earning the free kick. They're working hard and feeding it out, and because of that, they're winning stoppages.
Nevin's got the tap down to McLaughlin. He tries to feed out a hand pass, but straight to Mulgrave. The kick inside, 52 on 1 in favour of the Waters. And the mark's been taken by Galvin. I think that's
Joel.
That is Joel Galvin. They all look very, very similar. Joel Galvin goes out wide towards half-back. Mulgrave again with the numbers. Picked up here by Jameer. Tried to go one way then the other. Couldn't quite. Nevins and Cleven, the two big men on hands and knees. Normally they're going battle up top, but they go in battle down ground, and they're happy to see the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds. 21 and a half minutes gone here on EFL Gameday. 2-1-13 Mulgrave. And Bayswater 1-2-8. Ball up occurs. Cleven got the tap down. Bayswater able to dribble it forward, but again taken by Parker. Goes up forward. Murray was there with the dreadlocks. He palmed it out. Wasn't a good palmer in the end. Wazer got a kick forward. Booth on hands and knees. Picked the ball up. Immediately set upon. He didn't really try to get rid of the footy. Comes out now. Knowles on hands and knees. Doesn't matter.
Short quarter.
It was a short quarter. Only 3 goals scored. But nonetheless, Mulgrave lead, and they'll take it 2-1-13 Mulgrave, and Bayswater are 1-2-8. We'll take a break here on EFL Gameday. We'll come back with second quarter action. We'll hear from one of the coaches, and we'll hear from Will Taylor in the Choose Tap Stats chair. It's Bayswater and Mulgrave right here on EFL Gameday.
Each Thursday afternoon is the time for you to have your radio tuned to Radio Eastern 98.1 FM for Thursday Drive with me, Everett Hargraves. Each week we will share the enjoyment of listening to the music of the Songwriter of the Week, together with the sounds of the best popular music available. So if you're looking to relax and wind down at the end of your busy day, then Thursday Drive with Everett Hargraves right here on Radio Eastern is a must for you.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Desperately need budget-friendly windows? Visit T&B Discount Window Warehouse. We'll have the right solution for you. T&B has new and surplus windows to suit any budget needs, and you'll still have spare change to finish off your renovations. Visit T&B's new superstore, Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth, or rather call 1300 075 038. That's 1300 075 038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the EAL and AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport. And had an accident on the field? Head straight to Akira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, they'll treat your broken bones, sprains, strains, cuts, or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road in Barunga, or phone them on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. They'll have you off the sidelines in no time.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Quarter time here at Bayswater Oval. It is the Waters comfortably leading, well, not comfortably, I should say. It's only a 5-point lead, but it's been a really scrappy start to this game. The Mulgrave 2-1-13 to Bayswater 1-2-8. Only 22 minutes that quarter. A very, very short quarter indeed, but Mulgrave will certainly take the 5-point lead. Will Taylor's been taking some stats, I should say, for all thanks to Choose Tap, Yarra Valley Water. Be smart, Choose Tap. Will some stats that stood out for you in that first term?
Absolutely. Now, I think the three main stats really stick out to me a lot. The clearances, Mulgrave completely dominating, 13-3 in that quarter. The turnovers, 35 in all in that quarter. Mulgrave had 20, Bayswater had 15, and the marks in the defensive half of the 50. Bayswater had 6 of those, Mulgrave had 1.
Thanks very much to Will Taylor for Choose Tap. Some stats that matter. Both coaches still addressing their players in the huddle. Great crowd out here at Bayswater Oval, Ray. I know I don't know, we weren't worried, but we're probably just expecting a few more people around 7 o'clock, but they've really come late.
Look, I think we've passed all expectations as far as the crowds go. Look, This is a huge crowd, and look, so far it's been a great success.
Certainly has. Ray, just want to know your take on that first term. From my perspective, calling the game a really hard game to call because it's so scrappy and so many turnovers, and it doesn't help when you've got lights with yellow numbers as well. But nonetheless, Mulgrave will certainly take that 5-point lead.
Yeah, look, to me there was obvious that there was two different styles of play. Bayswater were going to run the ball in, keep it moving, or keep it low, keep it moving at all costs, whereas Mulgrave, they were more intent to kick the ball up higher, go down the corridor more so than Bayswater. And Ben Gilling down there, he was presenting himself and giving them a real target. But look, Mulgrave, they just dominated around the clearances.
Yeah.
You got Big Nevin there, Alan Cleven, giving the ball down to Tim Knowles. And look, Tim Knowles, he was very dominant.
He certainly was, but I wonder where Joel Galvin's been, Frosty, because I certainly haven't seen him been playing around the stoppages or in the middle very much.
No, he's been floating almost that loose man across half-back as well, and the same sort of role that Luke Parker's been filling for Mulgrave. Both those guys, the captains of their clubs, trying to play that almost that quarterback role and trying to set up, but it's the field kicking at both teams that have been a disappointment for me so far. Both sides have had opportunities as they move the ball through the middle of the ground to really make the opposition pay, but they haven't been able to hit that target. They kick inside 50, and it's only Mulgrave on a couple of occasions through the class of guys like Knowles who've been able to hit their target, find Gilling down there, and that's really been the difference so far at quarter time.
Let's quickly cross down to Damien Watson, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
I'm with Mulgrave coach Ryan James. Ryan, a 5-point lead at quarter time. Are you satisfied with how the boys performed in their first hit out of the season?
Obviously, there was going to be a bit of nerves early, but I don't think we played super well. We just spoke about the things we need to address, but to take a 5-point lead, it's a lead.
And how do you feel your players have adapted to the intensity of the game after a long off-season?
We probably struggled early and probably with the conditions in the dew, but as the quarter wore on, I thought we were a little bit more composed, but it's something we can work on.
And just lastly, you must be proud of your players curbing the influence of Joel Galvin in that first quarter.
Yeah, obviously Joel's probably the best midfielder in the comp, and we put a bit of work in it during the week, but they've done it for a quarter. We've got 3 to go.
Thanks very much, Ryan.
Great work, Damien Watson. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care on the boundary, doing a magnificent job. And Ryan James, thanks for his time as well. If you're just joining us here on EFL Gameday on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM, or of course streaming live on efl.org.au, thanks for tuning in. It is the Mulgrave side 2-1-13, leading Bayswater 1-2-8. We'll cross down shortly. In fact, we'll cross down right now to Braden Ingram, thanks to Akira Urgent Care, who was in the Bayswater huddle.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. First of all, Joel Galvin, addressing the midfield group, said, look, we're nowhere near our top level. We've got to lower our vision going forward. We're kicking to 4-on-1s and we're losing the ball going forward. In terms of Neil Winterton, said it was a very sloppy start. They gave away too many free kicks because Mulgrave was simply lower and harder at the contests. And look, just not enough pressure when the ball's in balance, and they've just got to work harder.
Thanks very much, Braden Ingram, doing some great work. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care. 2-1-13 in the Waters. Mulgrave 1-2-8. Players back in position. The umpire holds the ball up, and we're underway in the second quarter. Ben Warren-Smith.
The umpire throws the ball up now. That was a good knockdown that time by Nevins. Who's going to get the clearance? It'll be Bayswater. Skew F kick goes absolutely nowhere, but it's in the path there of Ryan. He was dispossessed. They're going to get it out, though. Good play there by Siakoulis. He drives the ball inside forward 50, bounces over everyone's head, including Booth. It might even run through for a behind. It does so now. So it only took 20 seconds, but Mulgrave get the first score on the board, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in the second term. They move to 2-14. It's a 6-point ball game, Ben Waterworth. Bayswater 1-2-8.
Certainly is, and Hanley brings it in, and a long kick from Bayswater goes out wide towards the wing. McLaughlin was there with Knowles, and both players happy to see the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds, 70 metres out from Mulgrave's goal. 40 seconds play here in this second term. It's a 1-goal lead to the Lions. Cleven gets the tap down to no player's advantage, though. Winterton went in and won the hard ball. Goes in a second time, does the captain coach, or the playing coach, I should say. And the umpire finally crosses himself and calls for a ball up. Great crowd here at Bayswater Oval. You can't get into the ground if you're trying to get your car in.
You can still get in.
You can still get in, no doubt about that. $7 at the gate, $3.50 for concession. Great night here at Bayswater Oval. Great night for local football.
$2.50 for the Eastern footballer as well.
$2.50 for the Eastern footballer. You can get plenty of exclusive like that, including Frosty Bed's Top 50, which he has been plugging shamelessly all week. None of that. Almost a good thing, but it was certainly a great read as well. Pick up your copy of the Eastern Footballer. Cleven in the ruck against Nevins. Again, Cleven gets the tap down. Siakoulis, high kick up towards half forward. Sitting in the hole, though, for the Waters. In the end is Mitch Galvin. A dribble kick in the end to his brother Joel. This way than that way. Oh, nice agility from Joel. You don't see that too often from the skipper. His kick up towards the middle of the ground was dropped in the end. Hanley tries to give the Donaghy. Wonderful tackle in the end by Robert Edwards, but it was a little bit high. And Hanley will receive the free kick. Ball still on that outer side. His coach is free. Winterton takes the mark up towards half forward. This is better from the Waters. They've got the ball now at half forward. A long kick inside 50. In fact, he sort of checked the kick in the end. And the mark has been taken 40 metres out from goal. And Bayswater will have a shot at goal.
I'm going to back Bryce Galvin to kick this one here. It's a fantastic kick goal. He's pushed a couple to the right early on. I reckon he can make the adjustment here and put this one straight through the middle, Ben.
So Bryce Galvin has the ball 40 metres out directly in front. His brothers Joel and Mitch had a bit of a say leading up to Bryce taking this mark. But the Waters really need this one because Mulgrave, in terms of play, have had all the advantage. Bryce Galvin directly in front will kick from just inside 50. Looks very good off the boot. And it's just snipped off to the right-hand side at the last minute. Bayswater 139, Mulgrave 2-2-14 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Almost 3 minutes gone.
It's crossed down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Damien Watson.
Boys, I spoke about players feeling the pinch in that first quarter, and I can tell you a number of Mulgrave players were vomiting at the quarter-time huddle, and those donning the long-sleeve Guernsey are adopting the short-sleeve Guernsey in this quarter. So in the words of Glenn Frey, the heat is certainly on.
Loving your work, Damo, down on boundary line. Ball was fisted away, comes out towards the Galvin direction. That was topped off that time there. Nicely done by Edwards. Just paddled the ball towards the boundary line to his advantage. He had Knowles there in support, and the umpire will throw it in about 75 metres out from the Bayswater goal line. Keeping the ball moving tonight, the umpires already doing a good job. The umpires plucked a free kick out here. I think it might go the way of Mulgrave. It will. Didn't see what happened that for, Pete.
No, I don't see what that was for. I was watching Joel Galvin. He needs to get involved around the stoppages. He's sitting on the outskirts looking for his teammates to win the ball for him and feed it out to him. That's not the way he plays his best football.
I dare say it was Knowles being held off the ball. He was the recipient of the free kick. Ball goes up towards the wing position now, and it was fisted over the boundary line and out of bounds. So the restart happens. It'll be Nevins versus Cleven. Cleveland had the front spot, he got the palm down. They had Handley in there on hands and knees, tried to get the handball out. So too there was Rajab. And once again, another free kick's been plucked out. So the umpires are stepping their authority on the game relatively early in the piece. The kick this time by Joel Galvin goes up towards the middle of the ground. It was a dangerous kick, but it was okay because his brother Bryce presented himself really well. Now he switched across the ground really nicely to Coombe inside forward 50. That's a good pass. Dropping what he probably should have taken was McInerney, but he's up to the task to go for the second F, and he was almost nearly Howard. Tried to paddle it to his advantage. That was really good play there by West to bang the ball outside the defensive 50. Goes up towards the half-forward line. Snap around the body this time was from Wazza. Inside forward 50 or thereabouts. Henderson with the orange boots. He had to be clever. The kick was touched off the boot. The umpire eventually even paid the mark in the end. Mitch Galvin's going to clear it for Bayswater. He kicks it out to the outer side of the ground. That was okay. They've got the numbers out here, and they'll look to rebound from centre wing.
Joel Galvin was the man who brought that ball out of defence. Mitch Galvin brought it out of defence as well. He looks quite good at fullback, Mitch Galvin. For the meantime, though, mark's been taken by the Waters, and they go inside 50 over the head. Mulgrave have the numbers at the back. Running over it there was Luke Parker. Did well, did Luke Parker, the skipper. He switches it to the outer side to absolutely no one, to open space. And the Waters win the race here. Well done, though, by the Lions defence in the end to bring it over the boundary line and out of bounds. And we'll see a boundary throw-in right in front of the Mulgrave coaching box as David Wazer just makes accomplices with the Bayswater opponent. Cleveland easily gets the tap down towards a teammate's advantage as well. Ball comes out looking for Darren Butler, but it's smothered over the boundary line and out of bounds.
And Bayswater, they've certainly lifted their intensity in this quarter, and they're putting pressure on the Mulgrave ball carrier and causing the turnover. And when they do turn over, they're spreading to the outer wings and trying to keep the ball moving.
Umpires put out a free kick from this stoppage, and it's going the way of the Lions, or is it going the way of the Waters? It is going the way of the Lions, but the umpire did not pay advantage.
What are the free kicks like, thanks to Choose Tap, Will?
Yeah, at the moment, Mulgrave has 2 in this quarter to Bayswater 3.
So the Lions have the ball at half-back. High kick up towards Gilling. He'll fly from behind, but Booth tried to claim the mark in the end. The ball comes to ground, almost dropping the ball. He tried to dispose of it, but just dropped it in the end. Umpire was blindsided, and we will see a ball up right in front of us here in the broadcast position. It's Mulgrave 2-2-14, Bayswater 1-3-9, 6.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Holding off the ball, free kick played to David Wazza.
Listen to the faithful.
Fans were happy with that one. So, trusty left foot kick goes inside forward 50. It was a 2-on-1 situation. Gilling had the 2 to beat. He wasn't up to the task, and the crowd's getting right into this game as Coombe got the handball away to Winterton. He got the 1-2 and then kicked it up towards the centre wing position, was dispossessed after he got rid of it. Yep. So a free kick downfield, even though Daniel Rajab had already taken the mark. So they've moved this along pretty quickly here, Bayswater. The kick goes inside forward 50 towards Bryce Galvin, and he comes out, and talk about players presenting well. Gilling down one end. Bryce Galvin has been doing a great job. He kicks it now. He wants to keep the ball moving. It was a smart kick, and it's going to bounce through. That's a clever bit of play. He kicked it onto the run of his teammates, and they let it go through. Good shepherding, and Bayswater on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard get their second goal of the evening. They move to 2 goals, 3-15. They take the lead for the first time tonight. Mulgrave 2-2-14.
Yeah, that was really smart play then by Bryce Galvin. He saw the open goal square and he didn't blaze away. He actually just guided the ball so it would run on. If he kicked it up and under, the ball would have bounced up and could have bounced anywhere in the goal square. But by actually guiding the ball, it actually caused it to continue on its trajectory. Fantastic smart play.
He was passing that. He had
I agree, Ben. He was passing
I
that
reckon
to a
he was
teammate.
passing that. Absolutely. McInerney was leading back. It was a good kick in the right area, but I don't know if he was going for a goal. I'm sure Bryce Galvin will take it nonetheless. Ball comes out, and the advantage here is with Lockie Ryan, the former Vermont player. His kick around the body, up towards space. Waters have the numbers. Joel Galvin, a little bit of agility from Joel tonight, liking that, and a beautiful kick off the left boot as well. The Waters have the numbers here on the outer side. High kick inside 50. McInerney's at the fall of the ball. Almost a mark. Yes, a mark to Bryce Galvin. Yes, a mark to Bryce Galvin. So he's starting to present very nicely for Bayswater at the moment, and he can go back from about 45 metres out on the right side for a right foot, a pretty tight angle though, and look to put through his second goal within a minute.
He's really providing that target that they missed up forward last year. Obviously last year he played the majority of his year with the Casey side in the VFL, coming back this year to play with his brothers, and he could be that forward they've been looking for down there, because he, as said, really strong on the lead. He's been presenting well in that situation, strong overhead in the pack. So fantastic play then from Bryce Galvin.
So he's got the ball about 55 metres out, but he'll kick from 45. He's had a wonderful start to the night. From 40 metres out, Bryce Galvin looks a little right, and it goes over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full in the end, so a pretty inaccurate kick from Bryce Galvin. But the Waters lead this one by 1 point. 2-3-15 Bayswater, Mulgrave 2-2-14, 9.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So it was Wellsford in the back pocket. It was a risky kick, and it comes back to Galvin, and he snaps around the body, and this has been put straight over the goal umpire's head. That was a good kick too. So Bayswater, a couple in a row. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they move to 3 goals, 3-21. 2 goals, 2-14 is Mulgrave. We've almost gone 10 minutes now in this second quarter. So Bayswater just getting on top in the last few minutes.
Yeah, but that situation then, it was Bryce Galvin that caused the turnover in the middle. It was actually Darren Murphy that's kicked the goal there for Bayswater. But he was at the fall of the ball. When the Mulgrave player was spoiled from Galvin coming across the front, the ball just dropped into the hands of Murphy and was able to swing truly onto the right foot. Fantastic goal then. Great forward pressure from Bryce Galvin caused the goal.
Joel Galvin back in the middle for the Waters. Ball up now. Cleveland got the cat down, but there he is as if on cue. Joel Galvin extracts the ball, and the kick up towards half-forward. Free kick here goes to Winterton. Dropping probably what he should have taken there was Mick Harrington, but it might work out okay in the end. Hanley looks like he's pushed forward the half-forward. Now a hand pass comes out from Nevins, back to Joel Galvin. High kick inside 50, looking for brother Bryce, almost finding him. At the fall of the ball is Mitch Burton. Couldn't quite pick it up cleanly. Mulgrave have the numbers at the fall of the ball. Trying to extract it here is that man in the cheese man. Now Burton towards goal. Thumped away from McInerney on that occasion by Matt Young, who is wearing McInerney like a glove at the moment, doing a fantastic job.
What Bayswater have done now, they've forced Ryan James to put a man back in that hole in front of Bryce Galvin, because that was just a wide open there, and they've had to fill that gap.
Jamar gets it back to Lockie Ryan, who's had a fair bit of footy early on. Looks for a player out there in Wellsford. Thumped away from him, though, by Darren Murphy, and when the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
The other thing that's really made Bayswater look really good is they know Bryce Galvin's going to be presenting down there, because he's only kicked the 1-2 and 1 out of bounds on the full, but because of that, they're able to get small forwards at his feet, front and square of the packs. The ball's coming down there from Galvin contesting. They're getting shots on goal from those small forwards as well.
Cleveland taps it towards Jamar's advantage. He handballs it further along. Butler goes up towards half forward. The ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. On the outer side here at Bayswater Oval. Will Taylor, some stats that matter, thanks to Choose Tap.
Inside forward 50, Bayswater 6 to Mulgrave 4. The clearance is still Mulgrave 7 to 3. The turnover is at the moment 6 to 5 in favour of Mulgrave.
So the ball just being returned to Bayswater now. The ball comes in board and mark taken by Ryan Hanley. Very good tank, Ryan Hanley. He's running all over the ground at the moment. Short chipping ball was good. The Waters have it now at left half back. They lead this one by 7 points. They're certainly back in the game. High kick up towards half forward. Strong mark by the big, bald ruckman Alan Cleveland. True centre wing position on that outer side. He looks to move it on quickly. Taken by Wellsford for Mulgrave. Kick up towards half forward. Booth! Out stretches the Dukes. Mark wasn't paid, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Bayswater 3-3-21. Mulgrave 2-2-14 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 12.5 minutes gone here in the second term.
The umpire brings the ball back into play. Cleven got the knockdown and goes straight back towards that boundary line. Who's going to be able to scoop it out? Nobody, as it runs over now. So just pushing it that ever little bit so forward is the Mulgrave side. They're about 70 metres out from goal. As we've already said, Bayswater over the last 5 or so minutes have been on top. They've hit the lead. Cleven got the knockdown, went straight into the arms of Winterton. He banged it on his boot, kicked it up towards the wing position. Front spot there was Roper. Went after it. Good play there by Butler to wrap his opponent up in a tackle. And we'll have a bounce now. Almost on centre wing, outer side of Bayswater Oval. Terrific crowd in here tonight. And they're still streaming in too. Good knock away that time by Nevins, but the umpire's plucked one out. He said he got over the shoulder of Big Al Cleveland. And the big man will have a free kick, wing position. Normally got pretty clean skills. It's Big Cleveland. This time he elects to go for the longer option. Inside forward 50. It was an okay 1-2. He went towards Booth. At the fall, the ball was Schroeder. He got tackled. The umpire comes in and he's paid a free kick. The non-officiating umpire has come in from the side here and given a free kick to Schroeder. So it'll be Bayswater. They're risking it. Goes back to Handley, backwards to go forwards. They mucked around a little bit with that. Then Peter Baird out of bounds on the full with Jamar for Mulgrave to have another shot inside 50.
Yeah, it wasn't the right option. Have Mitch Gelvin free, could have gone across the ground and switched, but didn't. Went back down the line and turned the ball over.
Well, when we talked about an ordinary kick out, that was a very ordinary kick in by Jamar, and the ball's gone out of bounds on the full, right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, which says Mulgrave are trailing by 7 points as Hanley kicks the ball outside the defensive line, fisted over the boundary line, and we're 60 metres out from the Lions' goal.
Magnificent crowd here at Bayswater Oval tonight for the EFL season opener of season 2013. Wherever you are on efl.org.au or 98.1 FM in your car, hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast here on EFL Gameday. Winterton just went in hard, gave a don't argue to two Mulgrave players, wasn't able to quite dispose of the ball cleanly, and we'll see a secondary ball up. About 60 metres out from Bayswater's goal, Mulgrave's goal I should say. 7-point lead to the Waters at the moment. Nearly 15 minutes gone here in the second term. And looks like the umpire's put out a free kick for a hold, and it will go the way of the Lions. So Jamar goes inside 50. The kick, looking for Booth. Got off his opponent nicely there in the end. Hand pass comes out from Mitch Galvin. It works out okay to Hanley. He likes to run the ball off half-back. Runs across his defensive goal square. It's a dangerous kick. It just stays inside the boundary line. Enough time for the Bayswater player to get a hand on it before it went out of bounds on the full. Boundary throwing 50 metres out from the Mulgrave goal.
His last 3 kicks out of defensive 50 have gone to the opposition or out of bounds, Handley, so he needs to watch that.
Cleveland easily got the tap down on that occasion, straight to a Bayswater opponent, but this will go straight back to Lockie Ryan. He's had a lot of the footy. He goes inboard to Wellsford, shrugs the tackle, runs to 50, passes it off, looking for Booth, falls to the back. Gilling was waiting with open arms and couldn't quite pick up the football over the boundary line and out of bounds. 10 metres around from the Mulgrave goal.
It seems to me now that Mulgrave, they've picked up the bad habit that Bayswater had in the first quarter, where they're not lowering their eyes when they're moving forward. They're looking for a target. They're just bombing the ball down there.
Booth went up in the ruck on that occasion, tried to follow up his own work. Ball comes to ground and West sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Once again, stoppage after stoppage after stoppage. Will Taylor, some stats that matter, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, the inside 50s at the moment. Mulgrave have now gone in front to 8-6 in the quarter, and also the tackle count at the moment. Bayswater has 8, Mulgrave has 9.
Well, Wellsford picked it up and went inside 50. It's a beautiful kick, and guess who's presenting once again? Ben Gilling gets on the end of one. He'll look to be unselfish. He centres it. It's dangerous, but it works. And the captain, Luke Parker, takes the mark almost directly in front, 30 metres out from goal. The goal that Mulgrave desperately need here, Beds.
Yeah, that kick had to be centimetre perfect. Although Parker was free, he had a couple of Bayswater players closing on him very quickly. So if that was a metre either side, he would have turned the ball over. I would have much rather see Gilling go back and have a shot on goal himself.
Decided to go from the long sleeves to the short sleeves, and Luke Parker goes towards goal. It didn't even make the distance in the end. Bayswater will bring it out of defensive 50.
Went from the long sleeves to the short sleeve and still has a sleeve on his arm too, but Bayswater in the defensive 50. They're going to clear things out now. This is okay. The kick goes in towards the centre of the ground. Was just bombed in there, knocked away that time there by Knowles. Came into the arms of Henderson. He's going to take off. He's got a good turn of speed, and it's a great kick inside forward 50, looking for Gilling. He dropped what he probably should have taken. On his hammer was Mitch Galvin, and they see it over the boundary line and out of bounds. So 40 metres out from the Mulgrave goals row.
What Bayswater is doing very well there, Gilling is presenting, but in this quarter he's presenting to the boundary, whereas in the first quarter he had to come up the corridor.
Dwyer got the front spot against Gilling that time. That was okay. Handley snaps it around the body. That was better. Got it outside the defensive line that time. Tim Hall takes the mark. So just waiting for players to present. He had Murphy short. Decided to go for the longer option, and that was a cracker of a mark there. Been taken there by Daniel Rajab. Wants to keep it on. Kicked up towards the centre-half forward line. It's a 3-on-1 situation. Will the one win out here? No, it won't, because Ryan got the handball away. Now Mulgrave kicked the ball up. It's a loose footy along the wing. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Who's going to meet the ball first? Oh, what a turn of speed that time. That was great play by Simpson. Drives the ball inside forward 50 at the fall of the ball. Who's going to be there? Booth. He traps the ball this time. Gets the handball out. Jamar's there as well. In there is Handley. He's had a lot of it. Got the handball across there to Darren Murphy. Stolen this time by Siakolas. He crosses at 50 and pushes it to the left-hand side. That would have really got the Lions going. But it's a minor score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 2-3-15. It's a goal the difference out here at Bayswater Oval. It's the season launch night right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Plenty of numbers have made their way into Bayswater Oval tonight. A magnificent crowd, a great contingent of Mulgrave people here as well, which is always great to see. Bayswater working around to their left half back line on that outer side, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds.
I don't know whether it's a night football or not, boys, but the turnovers, to me, they're just as prevalent in this quarter as what they were in the... what's the tally, Will?
At the moment, Mulgrave has 14, Bayswater has 12 for a total of 26 in the quarter.
Thanks, Will Taylor. All thanks to Choose Tap. Be smart, Choose Tap. Yarra Valley Water, great supporters of the EFL.
Delicious.
In season 2013. McLaughlin went up as the third man. And the umpire's pulled out a free kick, and it will go the way of the Lions. They'll look to go back to go forward. G picks it up. Kick inside 50. Who's on the lead? Ball comes to ground. Once again, the Waters with the numbers at the back. Mitch Galvin brings it out now. The race is on. Important ball to be won here, and the Waters win it. Beautiful kick around the body. Nice pick up as well by Daniel Rajab. Picks it up now. Dribbles it along the ground. Picked up by Burton. This way than that way. Looking up towards the half-forward line. McInerney tries to get in position A. He kept it in. He kicked it around the body. About 20 metres out from goal. Seb Henderson takes it with one hand. Then did well to get it off. West was tackled. Now McInerney, left foot snap around the body. Bounce, which way will it bounce? They have the numbers at the back here, do Mulgrave. Leicester should pick up and rebound. Nice shepherd applied there by Liam Welsford on the outer side. Ball goes out towards half back. Joel Galvin used his body really well there. Went inboard. Magnificent smother by Knowles. He picked it up and went up towards half forward. It's a beautiful kick as well. Gilling presents himself. There's a free man on inside 50. Gilling doesn't see him or doesn't pass to him. He goes for the option with less percentage, and seeing it over the boundary line and out of bounds in the end is Cheeseman for Mulgrave. That's an opportunity gone begging.
How good, Peter, was Knowles there with that smother, and he's run 30 metres and he's hit the target. Now, how good was that?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Peter Baird, special comments here on
Father
EFL
and son
Gameday.
working beautifully tonight here on 98.1 at Radio Eastern. The ball's just underneath the scoreboard. It's a goal, the difference. It's Bayswater leading it. Gilling got the knockdown and went straight into the arms of Dwyer. Picked up that time by G. Snaps it around the body. That's a fair old Bruce by G. And it's bounced through. The scores are level out here at Bayswater Oval. That is a super goal, a contender for goal of the evening. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, well, they've scooted away. Or is the scoreboard wrong out there? I dare say that
it's wrong.
It is level scores out here. I should have gone with what I thought, and it's 3-3-21 apiece. 21 and a half minutes gone in the second term. That was a fair bit of play, Ray.
Look, that was I know Adam G kicked the goal, but the shepherding of the ball from Luke Simpson right on the goal line, that goal is equally his.
Great work there by Adam G. He's a star midfielder, often goes under the radar for Mulgrave, and he's back in the middle. He'll be lining up against the coach, Neil Winston. So Booth and Dwyer to go at it in the ruck. G as if on cue. Booth followed up his own tap work there and got a little dribbling kick forward. Coulis wasn't able to quite take it. Ball comes out now to Hall. He goes into traffic and finds Joel Galvin. Normally makes smart decisions. That's a good one, but Hanley didn't make it up with the execution. Coulis likes to pounce. Loves the big stage, Dean Coulis. Up towards half forward. Strong hands. Strong mark taken by David Wazer, who's impressed it across half forward today. He'll swing on that left foot. High kick inside 50. Cleveland's down there. In fact, it's Simpson down there. Combe was able to get a fist to the ball. Jamar picked it up. Couldn't quite extract it properly. Ball comes out here for the Lions. Jamar can pick it up, but the umpires pulled out a free kick, and it will go the way of the Lions nonetheless. And they will go back and look to put through their second goal in a minute, and it will be Lockie Ryan, former Vermont player. Wayne Brasher behind us, Vermont media manager, or ex-Vermont media manager. Very disappointed to see Lockie Ryan in a Mulgrave jumper. But he's got a Lions jumper on now, and he goes in towards goal. Lockie Ryan, it looks pretty good. It's snuck in. Nice kick, Lockie Ryan, and the Lions are back in front. 4-3-27 Mulgrave. Bayswater 3-3-21. Gentlemen, we've got a string of goals. Can you believe it? 23 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. This is EFL Game Day. Peter Baird and Ray Baird in special comments.
Neil Winston will be very disappointed about that. Bayswater have looked a better side this quarter for probably the first 20 minutes. Only in the last 3 minutes, in a couple of quick ball movements, getting the ball deep in their forward line, very quickly and not allowing Bayswater to flood back and set up across defensive, but Mulgrave being able to score. Bayswater have looked much better side this quarter without the reward on the scoreboard though.
And both the 2 goals they've just kicked, both from great shepherding on the goal line.
Booth went up against Dwyer this time. Booth got every bit of 20 metres on the knockout. It goes up towards a half-forward line. Who's streaming out? West was there. Then Waters have got numbers okay because Dwyer got down on his hands and knees. Mulgrave scramble a kick forward. It was a good one too at the back of the pack. Gilling, he got one bite on it. Bayswater are going to clear this one though. The kick has to be good out of the defensive zone. It's going to be Galvin. Kick up towards a half-forward line, and it's got to be a good one. And coming out and taking a strong mark is Cam McLeod. On the left foot now, he wanted to square things up, and it was a good-looking kick too. Goes towards his coach in the middle of the ground. The coach screams for it. You pass it to him, that's for sure. Now Winterton inside forward 50. The ball goes. It was a spearing pass too, intended for McInerney. Picked up by Nevins. Kicked it inside forward 50, and it went to absolutely no one because at the last line of defence, Darren Butler was there. He knew where he had to be. Took a good tumbling mark. So in the back pocket now, Mulgrave. Been playing pretty well for the last few minutes. Falls into the arms of Dwyer this time for Bayswater. He squares things up. This might even go all the way too. Henderson was there for the Lions. He took them on, then he got the handball away. They're going to have the numbers as they clear out of that defensive zone, but the kick has to be good. It's a 2-on-1 situation. The 2 wins out. That was okay. West got the handball away. The kick goes up towards a broadcast position now on centre wing. Scrambles over the boundary line and out of bounds. Seen over by Jack Roper.
Henderson's not afraid to take them on that last line of defence down there.
He's got guts.
He's got a bit of flair too.
Well, with orange boots, is that what you're talking about, BWS?
Well, you've got to have some if you're going to wear that colour boots, and he seems to be living up to the stage at the moment. The handball this time comes out towards Ryan, just had one of those last shots of goal. Got down on his hands and knees, got given a free kick off the ball. Umpires come in, and it's going to be a free kick to Bayswater here. It'll go the way of Galvin against David Wazza, so I think that he's copped him one. Just off the play. You can see Galvin holding his face. Peter Baird saw that.
I certainly did, and he actually gave him one. Joel Galvin went and remonstrated with him, and then he gave him another one. That was the one the umpire saw, so not smart play then from Wazer at all.
Well, it was a risky kick by Galvin, but he found his teammate in Coombe. He wants to keep the ball moving on quickly. That was a good kick too. Goes towards the Leach direction. Short passes on inside 50. That's better. That's what McInerney wants, and he comes out and takes a mark about 45 metres out from goal.
Boundary.
He'll kick from the 50.
The duck is really damaging when he's got space to waddle out into from full forward there. Fantastic play then from the duck, Wayne McInerney.
He's been closely checked so far this evening, but he always presents himself. He'll kick from just inside the centre square. It's a beautiful kick off the boot. It's going to get there too. Sensational until it hit the post at the last second, Ben Waterworth, and went through for one behind. So he tried to ride it home for Wayne, but no so. Bendigo Bank scoreboard currently reads at the 26.5-minute mark. Mulgrave 4-3-27, Bayswater 3-4-22 as we cross down to Braden Ingram thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Boys, David Wazer for Mulgrave. He's been involved in a couple of incidents here as he attempts to mark the ball, and he just needs to calm down because he's copped them the ball a couple of times here.
So Wazer was at the fall of the ball there, and he seizes the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds right in front of his coaching box. Booth and Damien Murray just making themselves acquainted to each other. Damien Murray wears number 96 and has got very nice dreadlocks. If you don't want to stand out, tell you what, he does a very nice job of standing out. Joel Galvin tried to take a few players on there, and Tim Knowles stopped him in his tracks. Sid Coulis takes the advantage, goes up towards Simpson. Ball comes to ground, nice ball there by Combe. Hand pass comes out to Winterton. He'll look to play on, advantage is taken. Winterton kicks inside 50, beautiful mark.
The duck.
And here is the duck himself. Wayne McInerney takes the mark. 40 metres out, directly in front. And can he quack this one through for goal? Hopefully he can.
The duck took flight then, jumped up beautifully, grabbed that one in both dukes, bled out fantastically from full forward. I reckon he can put this one through, Ben, as the siren goes.
On the siren, this will give the Waters the lead at half-time. A big, big advantage. Look at the Lions players get around him. McInerney directly in front, pushes it to the right-hand side. 2 minor scores for Wayne McInerney. Imagine if he had kicked them, Ray, right on at the halftime side.
You're right, Ben, and there's a bit of feeling going on out there right at the moment. Players pushing each other. But look, what I was disappointed there, that play on advantage that Winterton got, that was another stupid free kick that David Wazza gave after the player had kicked the ball. He's got to just settle down and play the team game.
And we're made aware of that by Braden Ingram, all thanks to Akira Urgent Care on the boundary. Let's take a break here on EFL Game Day. It's half-time Mulgrave still lead this one 4-3-27 to Bayswater 3-5-23. It's a big game, it's a big event, and it's a big crowd out here at Bayswater Oval. Stay tuned because we'll have the Pie Shed halftime show coming up right after the break here on EFL Gameday.
We've got an all-out camp-out party going on down at the river on the 9-mile run. Stoke up the fire, gonna have some fun down at the river on the 9-mile run.
Join me on Thursday nights from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the Country Hoedown here on Radio Eastern 98.1. I'll bring you great country music, all styles, ballads, love songs, instrumentals, country rock, country blues and lots more from the 90s and today. Feature albums of new releases. And of course, the award nominees and winners from the various awards around the world, information on artists appearing in our local area, and much more, right here on Radio Eastern 98.1, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the Country Hoedown.
What was wrong with you blokes yesterday? You were playing like you'd been stuck in traffic for an hour before getting to the game.
Coach, there was a railway crossing gate down for ages.
The other mob thrashed us. You ran out of legs.
They all have breeze tags, Coach. They use EastLink. They get to focus on the match rather than focus on inching forward in the traffic.
Get a breeze tag and use EastLink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. EastLink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor.
Now, it can be difficult booking an appointment with your GP when you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic, you don't need an appointment and you don't have to wait. So walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Baronia, or phone on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. They'll have you off the sidelines in no time. Now, desperately need budget-friendly windows? Visit T&B Discount Window Warehouse. We'll have the right solution for you. T&B has new and surplus windows to suit any budget needs, and you still have spare change to finish off your renovations. Visit T&B's new superstore, Unit 4116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth, or phone them on 1300 075 038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the EAL and AW Window Transport Group. Your number one in window transport.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Half time here at Bayswater Oval, 4-3-27 are the Waters, and 4-3-27 are Mulgrave, and the Waters are 3-5-23. Certainly enjoying this contest, and welcome to the Pie Shed halftime show. The Pie Shed's pies are absolutely delicious. See Mark and the team at their Bayswater store, just around the corner here from Bayswater Oval. So certainly looking forward to getting some of those, some of our chops around Mark from the Pie Shed's pies. We'll have a chat about the game very, very soon, but we're joined by very, very special guests. We normally see his face on EFL TV, and we've talked to him a couple of times on the huddle, but great to have him on board tonight out here at Bayswater Oval. He is the footy operations of the Eastern Football League, Phil Merton. Hello, Mertz.
Benny, thanks for having me, and good evening, boys.
Now, Mertz, great crowd out here. Is this about expectation, you reckon?
Yeah, no, look, I think it was always a bit of an unknown, but I think given the weather, we couldn't have asked for better weather for people to come out and have a look. So, it's been a good game so far, and the crowd's been pretty good, and it's been a good night.
Certainly has been a great night. We're seeing a pretty decent game as well, a pretty scrappy game, but certainly there's plenty of feeling out at the moment. What's it like from an EFL perspective to have and put on a show like this, and how much work sort of goes into this as well?
Yeah, look, it's more probably from a club perspective where a lot of the work comes in. Obviously, we fixture it, but it's So from our perspective, obviously there's differing times for umpires, appointments, and some other things like that. But it's not from an EFL perspective. We don't do a huge amount more. Obviously, tonight being the first launch of the opening of the lights, we're a bit more involved. And there's a few local members of Parliament, etc. here, so there was a bit of a presentation and some speeches to start the night. But look, in effect, it's just another game like the 23 odd others we've got tomorrow. So, but just at a different time. So,
Phil, with the
with the success of tonight, I gather that the EFL will be. Could this be the portent of many things to come, of many games to come in the future, you think?
Look, I don't think that night football is going to be done to death. I think there's probably a window earlier in the year of probably 4 or 5 weeks, and a window late in the year of a couple of weeks. But I mean, if you think of if this was here in 12 weeks' time, and the Melbourne winter's getting down to sort of 5 and 6 degrees at night, most of the people who are outside at the moment are pretty uncomfortable. So, with most of our grounds not catering that well for people to be standing outside in the middle of winter, I think the window of night footy is limited to probably the start or the end of the season, and then from there. I mean, we've had a few night games down at Noble Park. I know when they've played Lillydale where there's been howling wind and rain, and it hasn't been that comfortable for everyone. So, but I think tonight shows that for showcase games, for local rivalries and for other kind of things like that, night footy has its place, but I don't think it's going to be the be-all and end-all of local footy.
Phil, the Bayswater ground, it's been a sensational service for a couple of years now. We're starting to see many other grounds come up to scratch. They're getting councils putting in. Redos, the Springfield Park, White Horses ground just got done. I know it's a council thing, but has that been a bit of a focus of the EFL as well to try and improve the service and the quality of the grounds? Yeah, look, certainly when we had the real bad drought, which was in 2007, the first year then I think we had about 3 grounds that had warm season grasses. And knowing what the likelihood of being able to have lots of water was, we actually had an initiative driven through our office, mainly by Rob Sharp. It was a warm season grass program that went out and was able to get funding from state government and also local government, but more importantly was able to secure some extra water from Yarra Valley Water and to enable a number of those programs to go ahead. So I think at the moment now we've pretty much got every ground in the senior competition that has warm season grasses. I think Heath might be the only one, but HG Park is still a ground that has coped pretty well over the last few years. So the senior comp's almost drought-proof, and what that also does is give us also a base for junior clubs to be able to use those grounds should the conditions over the summer deteriorate. So in 2013, is there a focus that the EFL has and you as an operations manager has in terms of improving the spectacle or just improving the experience of players and fans alike? Look, I think there's little things we can do all the time, and one of the things that we're trying to stress to clubs is a bit of that the home club does everything for their club and builds the Rolls-Royce of facilities, and then the visitors club you give the bare bones of what you can do. I think particularly at senior level, our footy's got to a standard where people want to or expect reasonable facilities whether they're home or away, and you're going to get what you get when you go away, pretty similar to what you're going to provide when other clubs visit you. So in things like coaches' boxes, like the standard of goalposts, the facilities on the sideline for interchange players, those kind of things can add a fair bit to the experience of the players. So.
Now, Mertz, before we let you go, we had an Eastern Footballer exclusive tonight with Frosty's Top 50 coming out. I know you had a little bit of a peek early on before it went to print. Ryan Mullock coming in at number 1, Goebbels 2, your man Anderson down at number 4. Do you think Ando's being jibbed a little bit? Do you reckon he's the best player in the competition?
Oh, no, look, I think he missed the whole year last year, so I mean, I think him and Ryan, I think over the last probably 3 or 4 years have been the clear best 2 players in the competition, and given that Ryan had a great year last year and winning the Chandler medal, and having another great year, it's very well deserved. But from what I hear down at Noble Park, Ando's burning up the training track. Yes. So I think he's pretty keen for a solid year, and he's always set the standard down there, but apparently it's been lifted even higher. So there was a great initiative by Frosty, and put a huge amount of time and effort into it, and I think most people were pretty appreciative of what was done. And from what I saw, and we had a look through previous teams of the year and some other ones, the one that I thought was probably a bit stiff was Matt Schumerbush. I thought I reckon he's and the way we tried to assess, I know Pete tried to assess the guys down lower in the divisions was how they'd go if they went to Div 1, and I reckon if you put Shimmer at centre back in any of the Div 1 teams, he'd be a fantastic player. So he was the one that I thought was a bit stiff. Yeah,
so. It was a great initiative by Frosty. He's picked up about 100 Twitter followers from it, and he hasn't stopped talking about it as well. So well done to Peter Bed. But well done to you, Mertz. Always a very polished media performer in any platform. We appreciate your time for tonight, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
No worries, gents. Have a good call, and it should be a good night for the rest of the night.
Thanks, Mertz. Thank you very much to Phil Merton, the footy ops manager of the Eastern Football League. Always a very, very sharp performer when it comes to things media. Will Taylor, if you just join us here on the Pie Shed halftime show, it's Mulgrave 4-3-27, leading Bayswater 3-5-23. Will Taylor, some stats in that first half that matter?
Absolutely. Mulgrave were completely dominant in a couple of the key stats. Inside forward 50s, 25-21 in the first half in favour of Mulgrave. The clearances, a big factor in this game so far. Mulgrave 26 to Bayswater 10, a 13-7 second quarter there. Mars inside 50. Bayswater really picked up in that second quarter. They won that one 6-2. Obviously, Bryce Galvin had 4 of those in that quarter. At the moment, it's 7-4 in favour of Bayswater. The turnover count, I know Ray was talking about a lot throughout the game. All up in the first half. 73 turnovers. 40 by Mulgrave, 33 by Bayswater, 20-18 in that second quarter. Marks inside defensive 50, Bayswater 9 to Mulgrave 3 in that first half. And the tackle count at the moment, 30 to Bayswater, 23 to Mulgrave, and it was 13 apiece in the tackle count there.
Great work, Will Taylor. All thanks to Choose Tap, Yarra Valley and Water. Be smart, Choose Tap. Great supporters of the EFL in season 2013. Once again, time to welcome officially a man who's just sort of hanging around, lurking around as he normally does, but you hear him a lot in the EFL Media Team this year. Wayne Brasher, good to see you out here, sir.
Good evening, Ben. Good evening, everyone.
Now, Brash, it is a great night. Just some sitting back and just absorbing and just listening to the crowd and listening to the effects out in the ground. How have you seen that first half?
Well, actually, to me, it seems like watching a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
You know, both sides have had 5-minute periods there where they've been able to dominate the ball. You know, when both sides have decided to take the initiative and run the ball down through the middle, they were rewarded. But the back lines of both sides are actually well on top here, and Wayne Nakanurni's been really well held by young Matt Young, who's doing an absolutely sterling job. Bryce Galvin also is probably the dominant forward for Bayswater, but has been able to hit the scoreboard. So I think it's really been very hard for both sides to impose their imprimatur on the game. So whoever stops the turnovers in the second half and is able to open the forward line up, I think he's going to take victory here tonight.
Braden, you've had a bit of a good view of the game from a ground level. How are you seeing it?
For mine, I just think Bayswater are missing too many tackles. It's been a couple of times. Mulgrave have easily been able to slip tackles, and also they seem to be bombing long under pressure now. I know it's a pressurised game, very low scoring, only 7 goals for the entire game to half-time, but I just feel they're bombing and they've got opportunities to pass short. Now, at quarter time, Joel Galvin, he said to his midfield group, 20-metre kick-in board, we've got to use it. It killed Lilydale. In the practice game out here last week against Lilydale, they used it to great effect. And today there's been opportunities to pass in board, but I think the pressure has just got to them and they've bombed long inside forward 50. So I think that's something they really want to see. And if they can get that going, you'd start to feel that they can get on top. And in terms of players, play for me, Daniel Rajab, I think he's been great. He's been pretty darn good. He's come from Northcote, so new player to the club, and there was a fair couple of raps about him, and look, I think he's been sensational, really silky, and he's provided a lot of run for them as well.
I think, Braden, that Lockie Ryan had a slow start to the first quarter, but...
Your boy.
And when they moved him into the middle there in that second quarter, Braden, he started to get his hands on the ball and have a bit of an influence.
Yeah, look, he's been strong, and Bayswater have got to close him down, I think. I think if he continues to have that influence, then they're going to struggle. And I think Tim Knowles as well in the first quarter, he was really on top, and they actually slowed him down. He still had a bit of it in that second term, but at quarter time, that was a key point for Winnet, and he said they identified them before the game, and they just let him run free. So in this second term, they're a little bit better. They've got to continue to hold him, though.
How do you see the ruck clashes going? I see Cleveland's holding his own in the ruck there. With Sia Cool, it's really benefiting from his ruck work in the middle.
Yeah. Look, it's been pretty even. I think Mulgrave. Oh my goodness, Mulgrave would want to improve it a little bit. But as I said, I think it's been a pretty even battle at the moment.
Well, that might be all that does it here on the Pie Shed halftime show. See Mark and the team at the Pie Shed at their store on Bayswater near the corner.
Over 100 varieties of pies, some of the best you will ever taste.
Unbelievable variety of pies. Mark Phelan does a magnificent job as always, and Peter Baird certainly knows all about that. Umpires are back out on the field. Mulgrave has just made their way back out onto the field. Ryan James having a chat to his staff full forward. Adam Booth, Bayswater will be back out very soon. Let's take a break here on EFL Game Day. It's Mulgrave 4-3-27, leading Bayswater 3-5-23. We'll come back with all the second half action with Ben Warren Smith and the team right here on EFL Game Day.
Hi, I'm Pam Pepperell, and I will be with you Fridays from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m, playing contemporary classic hits from the 50s through to the 80s. Also, great music from Broadway and film. So, tune in every Friday at 11 a.m. for pleasant entertainment right here on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM.
Oh, you ought to see me now. If you could only see me now. If you would only see me now.
Okay, boys, it's time we got ourselves a big advantage this weekend.
I'm not going to tank, Coach.
No, who said anything about tanking? It's what you'll save in the tank. I want you all to go out and get a breeze tag. Use Eastlink. You'll be at the ground faster and fresher, and you'll save fuel too.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink. The quickest way to arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink. It's time better spent.
Program sponsor. Desperately need budget-friendly windows? Visit T&B Discount Window Warehouse. We'll have the right solution for you. T&B has new and surplus windows to suit any budget needs, and you'll still have spare change to finish off your renovations. Visit T&B's new superstore at Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth, or phone 1300 075 038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the EAL and AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transports. Now, it can be difficult booking an appointment with your GP when you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic, you don't need an appointment and you don't have to wait. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road in Baronia or phone them on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. They'll have you off the sidelines in no time.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local to your footy.
And you can't get much more local than Bayswater Oval tonight. A magnificent crowd for the EFL season opener for season 2013. Great to see a great contingent of Mulgrave people especially, and I assume plenty of neutral fans out here just checking out the magnificent arena that is Bayswater Oval. Quickly, Ray Baird and Peter Baird, how do you see the second half playing out?
Well, I thought Bayswater really got themselves back into the game, particularly early on in that second quarter, and I thought it was on the back of guys like Joel Galvin actually asserting his influence around the stoppages. He wasn't necessarily in and under, which we often see from Joel, but it was when he was able to move in space and set up around the defensive side of the stoppage, he was able to do that to great effect, and he really provided the impetus for his team to get back in the contest and get in front. But it was only in that really 5-minute period where Mulgrave were able to kick a couple of quick goals, and it was really through some loose checking in the midfield that able to get them some quick ball movement inside their forward 50. They were able to isolate Adam G and Gilling on both those occasions. They kicked 2 goals for the quarter. Bayswater kicked 2 goals for the quarter. We're back to a 4-point ball game at half-time. This is still anybody's game.
Quick tip, Ray. Pete, who's going to win?
I still say Mulgrave.
I'm sticking with the Waters.
Well, third quarter about to get underway here on EFL Game Day. Bayswater and Mulgrave, the Lions by 4 points. Here's Ben Warren Smith.
The umpire balls it up in the middle of the ground. The umpire's paid a free kick straight away again. So this time it'll go to Galvin, who's moving to the middle of the ground, Joel. Kick up towards the half-forward line now. Bryce Galvin had the front spot over the back of the pack there. It was fisted away at ground level. Picked up by Dean Siakoulis. That was good play there by the vice-captain. Got it out of the danger zone. Kicked it towards the Ryan direction. He had Henderson there for support. Goes backwards to go forwards. They're getting a little bit fumbly, but they've still got possession. The kick goes up towards the half-forward line and standing strong and taking a good mark at the last line of defence. I think down there was McLaughlin. So the short pass is on. It was a scrubber of a kick. Got it towards Leach. They go out wide now, Bayswater. The kick goes up towards the wing position. It's been pushed very far wide. It might go out of bounds on the full. Just touched over the line and we'll have a boundary throw in. Almost a minute gone here in the second half as we cross down boundary side, thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Damien Watson.
Beginning the second half on the bench for Mulgrave, Darren Butler, Luke Simpson, Luru Jamay and Alex Leolios. And for Bayswater,
Harrington, Uzan, Dwyer and Murray.
Well, Jeep banged it on his boot and it went inside 50 now for the Lions. It goes towards the forward pocket. Booth tried to kick it to his advantage. He eventually paddled it over the boundary line and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. It's about 30 metres out from the Lions' goal.
And Dean Sekoulis, he's exerting his authority. He's probably had 3 or 4 possessions in this quarter already.
Booth versus Nevins. Nevins got the top knockdown. It came down to Coombe, got it onto Galvin, got it onto Winterton. Clean skills, goes up towards the wing position. That was a good mark there, taken by Darren Murphy. Ball one swung around on the left boot. That was a good kick too, and finds a teammate in Mitch Jackson just inside the centre square. He wants to move the ball on quickly, goes inside forward 50 towards the Bryce Galvin direction. He got the ball fisted away from him, stacks on the mill, and the umpire will come in and ball it up about 45 metres out from the Bayswater goal.
I like the way Mitch Galvin's able to bring the ball down to the front of the contest. It makes it so much easier for these small forwards to read where the ball's going.
Cleven went up unattended, got the knockdown. It went to no man's land though in there for Bayswater. They had a couple of players over the ball. Winterton's there too, so the umpire will come in and bounce it again. Still only about 30 metres out from, or 35 metres out from the Bayswater goal line. It'll be Tim Hall to go up in the ruck this time. Cleven comes over, knocked it down towards the G direction. He banged it on his boot, got it out of the danger zone and gained a valuable 30 metres or so, and over the boundary line it goes. Almost centre wing out here at Bayswater Oval. It's night football at its best. 4 points the difference. It is Mulgrave leading 27-23.
Great crowd around Bayswater Oval. Great crowd up here on the balcony. Hope you're enjoying this call of Bayswater and Mulgrave here on 98.1 FM. Or EFL.org.au. The Lions are able to extract it and kick up towards the half-forward line. Open forward line as well. Picking it up, though, was McLeod. Got a hand pass back to Mitch Galvin. Nicely done by Cam McLeod in the end. Spears the ball in towards the middle of Bayswater Oval. A little too hot on that occasion for Tim Hall, and the turnover might be costly. G and Sekoulis work in tandem. G picked it up. Scrubber to kick forward. Might work out okay for Booth. He was clean bowled, but picks up here by Wazer. Onto the left foot goes Wazer. Kick towards goal is just to the near side, the left-hand side, and it goes through for a minor score. The first score of this second half. It's Mulgrave that go on to 4-4-28 and Bayswater 3-5-23. 3.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. This is EFL Gameday on 98.1 FM and EFL.org.au.
So Ryan Hanley now for Bayswater to bring the ball back in. Been using the outside of the ground a fair bit tonight, but this time he elects to go to the grandstand side. McLeod. The two left-footers working in unison. The kick goes up. It went to no one, though, because Seb Henderson takes a good mark. It was a great mark, too, in front of Big Nevins. So he goes inside 50 now. Henderson, what a beautiful pass that was, too. And copping one on the nose about 45 metres out from goal was David Wazer. And he's been lively in these first few minutes of this quarter. A couple of shots on goal and a kick inside forward 50. He's wasting no time either. Yet to get on the goal board today. But he comes in, left foot kick. It's a nice looking one too. He brings it back beautifully, and that is the first goal of the third quarter. And it goes to Mulgrave and it goes to David Wazer. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, as we almost cross 5 minutes in this third term, Mulgrave moved to 5 goals for 34. Bayswater 3-5-23.
That goal resulted in a very good mark there by Henderson. He outmarked 3 Bayswater players. He caused a turnover. He passed the ball superbly to his forward there in Wazer, and he didn't let him down.
The cardinal sin then from Bayswater was Nevins allowed Henderson to mark there. He had three Bayswater players at ground level. All he needed to do was bring the ball to ground and Bayswater away, but he allowed Henderson to mark.
Ball back in the middle, and Alan Cleven extracts it and goes long inside 50. Gilling was at the back. Ball comes to ground. Waters have the numbers. Combe, just a little bit of class, composure across half-back, then makes the very smart decision. And the mark's been taken here by that man in Carlos for the Bayswater side. Schroeder, in fact, my apologies. Thanks, Braden. I know you're one of his best friends, so thanks very much there, Braden Ingram. Dale Cheeseman intercepts the kick from Schroeder, though. It's a dangerous kick, but it's pinpoint in the end, and Gilling takes the mark just outside 50. Short chipping ball is very nice, and on the lead is Wazer again, I think, so he'll go back. He's on the right side for a left footer, and he'll look to put through his second goal within a minute. So the Lions currently lead this one by 11 points. This would certainly be the biggest margin of the day so far. So he comes in, a kick from about 35. Kick looks not bad off the boot, but it's just to the near side, or is it snuck in?
Good.
It's snuck in. It found a way through the telephone box, and Wazer gets his second in 2 minutes. Mulgrave go out to a 17-point lead. 6-4-40 the lines. Bayswater 3-5-23. 6 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Mulgrave have the advantage, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, what Ryan James has done, he's moved Wazer to full forward at the big break there, and he's rewarded him with 2 goals in 5 minutes.
The thing about Bayswater is they've shown it a couple of times in this game. If they lose concentration for 4 or 5 minutes, Mulgrave are able to quick kick goals. That's exactly what they've done at the start of this quarter. They need to switch back on and get themselves back in the contest.
Will Taylor, thanks to Choose Tap.
Absolutely, Mulgrave dominating 6-1 inside 50s and 4-2 in the clearances.
Well, this time it was Mulgrave to once again get the knockout. It comes to Butler. He banks it on his boot inside forward 50. Great mark, David Wazer. Well, isn't he having a purple patch in this first 5 minutes of the third term? He takes another mark. He'll have another shot on goal. It could be 3 in a row for the Mulgrave Football Club.
Boy, doesn't that make the coach look good when he's moved him down to full forward and he's lining up for his 3rd goal, as I said, in 5 or 6 minutes.
So David Wazer
and
goes bang straight over the goal umpire's head. He doesn't have to try for that one. That's his 3rd goal. That's Mulgrave's 3rd goal for the 3rd term. And they have kicked away 2 at the 7-minute mark on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They move to 7 goals, 4-46. It's a 23-point ball game. They've doubled the score of Bayswater, who are 3-5-23.
Mulgrave look far better this quarter because they're going down the corridor as they did in the first quarter, where they look far better.
Any team will look better if they're able to win the ball from stoppages, and that's been the real difference at the start of this 3rd term.
Alan Cleveland is having a huge say in the middle of the ground, and the great ball winners like Lockie Ryan, who's playing an awesome first game in Mulgrave colours. Dean Siakoulis also having an impact as well.
Tim Knowles.
And Tim Knowles goes okay as well, Frosty. Ball back in the middle. Mulgrave definitely with the advantage. They lead this one now by 23 points. They double the score of Bayswater. Umpires pulled out a free kick. They'll get a break here, and it will go the way of Bayswater. We'll go to Winterton. Must be holding off the ball.
Was an extra man in the square, Ben.
There you are. So Winterton takes it, goes inside 50. McInerney was at the back. Ball comes now. Bayswater have the numbers. Galvin, in fact, on that occasion it was Jade Murphy, got a hand pass away. Mulgrave able to apply the pressure. A little chipping ball over the top by Jackson towards a dangerous position. Ball comes to ground, and Lockie Ryan again will come off half-back. His short chipping ball over the top was good to Parker. Dropped what he should have taken, but he's got a second opportunity at ground level. Picks it up now, feigned a kick, then went up towards the half-forward area. Booth is there. Ball thumped away from him. Comes now to Mitch Galvin. His high kick towards the middle of Bayswater Oval. Thumped away from him, but lands beautifully in the arms of Joel Galvin. He looks to go inboard. He frees up Winterton. He normally makes good decisions near Winterton. He goes inboard to Jackson. 30 metres out from closing. It's a terrible kick, but it might go okay in the end. I don't think he was passing. I don't think he was going for goal. I don't know what he was doing, but in the end, it's a mark to Bayswater, and they can go back and try and put it through a much-needed goal. It's now in the arms of Mitch Brereton.
The reason Bayswater's going for this goal is Joel Galvin. Look, he was in amongst 3 or 4 Mulgrave players there. He was tackled. He kept his foot. He dished the ball off to Neil Winterton, and that's why to get this shot for goal.
Burton comes in, makes no mistake. Much needed goal for the Waters. They reduce the margin back to 17 points. 4-5-29 are Bayswater, 7-4-46 Mulgrave. 9.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. You're listening to EFL Gameday on 98.1 FM and EFL.org.au.
That was classic Joel Galvin there. It showed how strong he is through the core and through the hips. He's able to break the tackle and to shrug the opponent off, and that's what set up the goal. Fantastic smart hands from Neil Winston as well to find his man in space. 2 of the marquee players from Bayswater. They're 2 that they'll be looking to lift this quarter to get the side right back in the contest.
10 minutes gone in this 3rd term. It's a 17-point ball game. Mulgrave get the knockout through Cleveland. It went to no one. Butler was right there. Winterton nearly gave away a free kick, but they might get another go at it here. Bayswater will advantage be paid? No, because it's a Mulgrave free kick in the middle of the ground.
Paid the throw.
So it'll go to Cleveland. He wants to give the handball off quickly. He does so now. The kick goes driving up towards the Booth direction. He gets the front spot eventually. Coming through his Knowles. He might be able to scoop this up. That was well done by Coombe to lay the pressure. He might receive the handball here. Eventually does there from Winterton. Short passes on, and they'll just slow things down a little bit. Across the half-back line through Murphy of the Darren variety. His kick was terrible across centre wing. Kick to a 2-on-1 situation. And a free kick, and not a free kick because it was a mark taken by Butler, but he'll get a 25-metre penalty, which has turned out to be about a 15-metre penalty. In fact, yes, he has. He's been given the free. Lays off now. That was okay. Cheeseman, his kick was smothered. That was fantastic play there by Murphy. But it comes into the arms now. Westy Bananas a kick inside forward 50. That's an all right kick too. They've got players at the fall of the ball. Running through his right. He'll curl this back beautifully. Great goal to Mulgrave. That's the answer they were after. That's their 8th goal at the 11-minute mark on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They move to 8 goals for 52. Bayswater 4-5-29. His first goal. Great bit of play there, Pete.
Oh, it was fantastic kick to kick it around the corner, but did you see the man who dished it off to him in space? It was David Wazer. He's had a hand in all 4 goals this quarter. He's turned it right on his head. He's kicked 3 himself and has laid that one off to Rocky Ryan, who hasn't let him down, been able to bend it around beautifully. That one there's a contender for the EFL Player of the Day.
So it's all happening for Mulgrave. 8-4-52 the Lions. They lead Bayswater 4-5-29. Perhaps a mini boil over. It was pretty even odds, you would think, at the start of this game. Ball comes down the ground now. Galvin gets the kick out. That's a good kick up towards the half-forward area. Mark's been taken here by Tim Hall. He's got McInerney leading to one pocket. He goes in that direction over his head. Bryce Galvin was at the back, but the ball comes to ground, and it's West sweeping up once again. He looks for a teammate, and he's happy to see it over the boundary line and out of bounds. Jaden Murphy we'll see it over 40 metres out from goal. We'll see a boundary throw in.
The thing that's really let Bayswater down this quarter is their delivery inside 50. They're just blazing away. They're not looking to lower their eyes and hit a target. And when they do that, it allows Mulgrave just to chop off the kicks at will.
Cleveland in front again. Got a little kick forward. And it probably gained, in the end, Bayswater, they probably gained a couple of metres. So ball up will occur. They lead this one, Mulgrave, by 23 points. Doesn't sound like a big margin. But in the end, it's been a pretty low-scoring game and a very handy one at that. Cleveland again gets the tap down. Hanley was there, goes towards goal. Here's McInerney, the duck, looking to go quack, quack, quack. He can't. Ball goes towards the forward pocket. Now picks it up. Left foot kick around the body, bouncing ball. Mulgrave able to see it over the through for a rushed behind in the end, and they averted any danger. Bayswater 4-6-30. Mulgrave 8-4-52. 13 minutes gone here in the third term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Welsford goes short to Knowles. He dropped it on the bump ball. The umpire called play on, so Welsford went in for it again, allowed some pressure, which was good. Now Mulgrave move it up towards the Gilling direction on centre wing. The ball's fisted away for him over the boundary line and out of bounds right near our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders. Braden Ingram nearly getting a touch. He didn't get many for the Basin Reserves last year.
Nope.
He nearly got one tonight as the umpire balls the ball back in now. Cleveland, he got front spots, winning a lot of tap outs here today. He's having a great game. G at the bottom of the packs, stepping his mark back in the side. The umpire will come back in and ball it up.
The crowd certainly hasn't died down. They've really stayed through. I think this is a really great crowd.
Oh, it's a great precursor for a good night out on a Friday night as the umpire balls it up. Cleveland on hands and knees.
Just getting started for you, BWS, this game.
Well, the night is young. Don't you worry about that, Ben.
Where are we going to after this, BWS?
Anywhere where it's your shout, Peter Ben. The umpire throws it up now. Nevin's got the knockdown, went towards Galvin, couldn't get it. He was dispossessed. G goes in hard too. So does Galvin. Look at those two hard nuts go at the football. The umpire's got to come in and bounce this eventually. Otherwise, they'll rip each other's heads off.
How was the attack on the Ferocious in the contest then from Joel Galvin? Isn't he a ripper?
Great player to watch. He's arguably been Bayswater's best player again as well.
So the umpire, true centre wing position, throws the ball aloft now. Cleveland got the knockdown. Knowles somehow scrambled to kick up towards the half-forward line. Jamar, he was right there. Jamar, I apologise, got it across towards Cheeseman. He was tackled high. He'll get the free kick just as Ryan Hanley was running away with it. In fact, it was a free kick to Bayswater. Everyone stopped and the kick goes up towards the half-forward line. Darren Murphy, he kicks it on forward. Inside forward 50. He should have gone straight towards the goal because Roper's there for the Lions. He's going to mop things up and the Lions are out of trouble.
They certainly are. They're working beautifully as a cohesive unit tonight. Here's an opportunity for Robbie Edwards, the co-captain. Got a little hand pass in. Jammer picks it up now. His kick was smothered off the boot though. Edwards leads in the race again for Mulgrave. But they just look a little bit more composed across half-back. Interesting ball here to be won. Thumped away here by Galvin. He tries to pick it up and get a free kick, and he does Joel Galvin. He put his head over the footy, and he's won himself a free kick 50 metres out from goal. He handballs off to Bryce Galvin, his brother. He unloads from 50, and it goes through.
Goal of the day.
Galvin, magnificent kick for goal. And Bayswater desperately needed that one. 5-6-36 are the Waters. 8-4-52 the Lions. 15 and a half minutes gone here in the third quarter on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Ray Baird.
Yeah, look, I question that free quick kick to Joel Galvin. Look, he put his head down and he crashed into the Mulgrave player as I saw it. And to me, he instigated it and it wasn't a free kick.
Smart play from Joel Galvin.
Second goal for Bryce Galvin on that occasion.
So the ball will go back into the middle of the ground out here at Bayswater Oval. Almost 17 minutes gone now here in this third term. Umpires just waiting for players to reach position. Holds the ball up now. And we have a restart. Throws it up. Cleveland once again got the knockdown. He was looking for G, but Bayswater are going to get the clearance. The kick was a bit of a skyscraper, still inside that centre square position. Trapped by West. He did well. Turned his opponent inside out and kicked it up towards the half-forward line. The intended target down there was Edwards. He was dispossessed. The kick goes now towards half-forward for Bayswater, but chopped off very nicely across half-back by Robert Edwards. So he's just taking his time. At times he's been a little bit sloppy with his disposal tonight, and just like my words there, that was like the kick, and it went over the boundary line and out of bounds.
I haven't noticed Mick Harrington a lot tonight, Frosty. You were talking about big time a couple
Really
of weeks
struggled
ago.
to get involved around the contests.
So boundary throwing occurs on that outer side. Cleveland was in front. And players conversion the football now. Umpire crosses himself. Whether you're listening via 98.1 FM or EFL.org.au, hope you're enjoying this broadcast of EFL Game Day. Bayswater and Mulgrave. It's Mulgrave 8-4-52, leading Bayswater 5-6-36. Knowles put his head over the footy, gain maybe 10 or so metres. He speak of the devil as if on cue. Harrington puts his head over the footy, almost won himself a free kick. And he has. Well done, Mickey Harrington. Moves it on quickly. And they're off all through Cam McLeod. He goes up towards the half-forward area. Mark taken here by Hall. He turns quickly, feigns the kick, will swing onto the right foot. High kick inside 50. It's a poor kick in the end. Burton leads the race, gets a hand pass off to his coach. He's cornered here, though, is Winterton. Back to Burton, but the kick was smothered by Roper in the end. Winterton tries to keep it in, but the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds on that outer side. And we'll see a boundary throw in 50 metres around from goal. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Damien Watson.
Not sure about you guys up there in the commentary box, but the atmosphere down here at ground level is palpable. The crowd is very parochial and they're both getting into it, both sides of the coin.
Damien Watson with the Oxford Thesaurus bring it out tonight, as he usually does every time he hits the 98.1 FM airways. Nice work, Damo, as the ball's out there on the outer wing, looking and tucking the ball under the arm here. It's the captain, Luke Parker for Mulgrave, up towards half-forward, over the head that time of Knowles and of his Bayswater teammates, and the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. 18 minutes gone here in the third term of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Will Taylor, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
Mulgrave at the moment in this quarter 10-7 inside forward 50s. The turnovers at the moment, Bayswater 13 Mulgrave 9.
Simpson went up against Dwyer. It was won by Mulgrave, and then a kick went out towards a centre wing position. Who's going to get this one? It might be Coombe. He got the handball across, looking for Winterton. He was nearly taken highly. The umpire will come in and bounce it just outside the centre square, out of the side of the ground out here at Bayswater Oval. Great game we've got on here. 16 points is the margin. Still anybody's game as the umpire throws it up. The ball came down towards the Edwards direction. Couldn't quite get it. Jameer, he kicked it up towards a half-forward line. That was okay. Turning his player inside out was Lukey Parker. The short passes on. He's usually got clean skills. The man of the moment. He kicks it around the body. David Wazer, he's flux. He stuck it through.
Oh, no.
What a miracle goal that was. He didn't even look where the goalposts were. He banged it on his boot. And that is his fourth for the quarter. An amazing effort by David Wazer at the 20-minute mark as we almost cross time on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It is Mulgrave. They have all the answers at the moment, Ray Baird. 9-4-58. Bayswater 5-6-36.
Yeah, look, David Wazer, look, he led his opponent to the ball. He turned his opponent inside out. And as you said, BWS, he didn't even look. He just kicked the ball down and it rolled and rolled and rolled and right through the goals.
Mark that one down, Ben Waterworth. There's a contender for EFL TV's Player of the Day for next week.
Talking up his own segments as always. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Braden Ingram.
Boys, just to make this game a little bit interesting, just a tiny bit of drizzle in the air. Don't know if there's going to be anything in it, but we're going to find out soon.
Narood Jamo was able to get the clearance. I'm glad we're up here and you boys are on the boundary, to say the least, Damo and Brado, as the ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds on that outer side. Ray?
We're all wrapping up David Wazer and all the free kicks. That's right.
Yep, that's right. He certainly was. Ball comes to ground. Harrington tried to extract the football to no avail on that occasion, and Cleveland's wrapped up. Ball up, I should say. True centering position on the outer side of Bayswater Oval. The Lions lead this one by 23 points. They've certainly got the advantage in this term. They've kicked 5 goals to 1. Will Taylor, I think they've kicked 5 goals to 1 in this
correct.
term. So the ball goes
5 goals to 2,
up.
sorry.
Jamer picks it up. Gets a little hand pass over the top. Was looking for Siakoulis, who's just like the big stage very nicely. Dean Siakoulis, he sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
And of those 5 goals Mulgrave have kicked, Ways has kicked 4 of them and set up Adam Jude with the other, Lockie Ryan with the other one.
He really has turned this game, David Wazer. He's been outstanding in his debut game here for Mulgrave. Now the umpire's called for a free kick, and it looks like it's going to go the way of the Waters. So they'll look to bring it through the middle of the ground. Hanley looking for Burton. Nice spin out there in the end. Harrington, little snap around the body. Doesn't work out okay. Bounce is not good for Darren Murphy. He sees the ball over the boundary line once again. The umpire will toss it back in. 21.5 minutes gone. It is Mulgrave 9-4-58 leading Bayswater 5-6-36. That beautiful scoreboard lighting up Bayswater Oval ever so beautifully on that outer side at the moment. Umpire has called for a free kick here for holding the ball. There will be a free kick going the way of the Waters. Murphy, Darren Murphy, feigned the kick nicely. Now goes long inside 50. Who's going to be at the fall of the ball? They're going to McInerney in a 3-on-1 situation. That's not what you want to do. And Wellsford's going to bring it out from half back. It's a kick in hope more than anything else. Can they trap the ball here? The Waters. McLaughlin got a little hand pass away, but Henderson did well to throw him off. Wellsford went up and picked it. Jamer sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds with Damien Murray. And on the broadcast side here, we'll see a boundary throw in Ray Baird.
Didn't Sam Henderson to make some pace there for a big man. He really bolted.
The umpire brings the ball back in now. It's about 60 metres out from the Bayswater goal line. Cheeseman wrapped up West in a tackle that time. In fact, it was Jackson. The kick comes out. It was a clearing one. It's going to go to the Henderson direction. He had to go in hard, and he did. So did too was Damien Murray. That was good footy, good local footy. That's what we want to see. Put your body on the line and a little bit of how do you do afterwards. Nothing wrong with that. Just settle it down, boys. The umpire's going to restart this one, and he does so now, if not pluck out a free kick. It's probably what was necessary. It's going to be a free kick, and I think it's going to go the way of Bayswater.
Yeah, just players, just attentions are high at the moment. It looks like the unofficiating umpire has pulled out a free kick, or he's just called for calm, I think, more than anything else.
Correct.
Thought the officiating umpire did the right thing by balling the ball up and getting the game going.
So he brings it back into play now. Dwyer went up, he got the knockdown. It comes down to Coombe. He's in the middle of the ground. He needs to switch the play out wide. That was an okay kick too. He's looking for Mitch Jackson. He needs to be up to the task. Going after it was Lukey Parker, the captain. He got tackled and he got dispossessed holding the ball. So a great bit of play there by Bayswater. Screaming for it in the middle of the ground was Damien Murray. The kick is elected to go longer, and it was a good one too, and coming in and taking a good mark at the fall of the ball. The players weren't too sure whether or not it was marked, but I think that's Wayne McInerney in there, and it is taking the mark.
The duck.
Quack, quack.
So he'll kick from about 45 metres out from goal. So he's let down the goal scorers twice so far with his set shots.
Imagine if he kicked that 2 goals just before half-time.
A very important kick for Bayswater. We're into time on 24-minute mark. McInerney, he knows his position and he squeezed it home. It was a helicopter punt kick, but it found the 2 big sticks. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 24-minute mark, still Mulgrave 9-4-58. Bayswater a 6-6-42. We're back to a 16-point ball game. Cross down boundary side thanks to Akira urgent care to Braden Ingram.
Boys, that bit of biff, it came about through Damien Murray. He had his eyes on the footy from Bayswater. Mulgrave player came up, both going for the footy, an outstanding clash. You wouldn't believe the noise down here, the thump of bodies. Just great to see. And the boys, it's been a hot, heated game all night. So the boys just getting into each other, but nothing too much to see.
This game still isn't over. Bayswater still in this one. Ball up occurs. Nevins and Cleven. Third attempt. Cleven probably give that one to him. Picked up in the end for the Waters by a handball in the end by O'Zuzan, but Mulgrave will look to clear up towards half forward. The Bayswater nice and structured across half back. Taken here by McLaughlin, up towards true centre wing position. Harrington takes the mark and gets it off to Hanley, who's had plenty of the football this evening. Short chipping ball over the top, works out okay. Hanley receives the 1-2, spears the ball inside 50. It's a good kick as well, and the coach has taken the mark, Neil Winston. He's deep in the pocket though, and on the wrong side for a right footer, I should say. 30 metres out from goal. Will he look to centre? He goes towards the top of the goal square. In the end, there was a bit of a shank off the boot and it's gone out of bounds on the full 10 metres around from Bayswater's goal. 9-4-58 Mulgrave, Bayswater 6-6-42. 25 and a half minutes gone here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard in the third term. Will Taylor, some stats that matter. Thanks to Choose Tap.
Winterton's out of bounds on full, made it 18 turnovers for Bayswater to Mulgrave 13. The clearance has actually got a little bit even at 14 to 9 in favour of Mulgrave. Inside forward 50s all tied up at 11.
Well, they're going to get another go at it here as Galvin of the Joel variety comes out and takes a good mark about 45 metres out from goal. So they did clear at Mulgrave.
This would be a captain's goal.
Another shot on the siren. So if you ever needed a captain's goal, this is certainly the moment. Currently we have a 16-point ball game.
Huge kick.
The quarter's gone for 26 minutes. Galvin will have a shot from probably about 50 metres, which will be spot on his range. He comes in now. It's a big roost. It's a good roost, but he's pushed it to the right-hand side. He probably got a little bit too close to the man on the mark there. Minor score is the result. So at three-quarter time, it is Bayswater trailing at home in the first match of the season. 6-7-43. Mulgrave have got the lead, 9-4-58. We've seen a terrific game so far, and no doubt there'll be a belter of a fourth quarter to come. We're going to have a break here on 98.1 Radio Eastern. 30 minutes of football to come. We can't wait.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's east. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Desperately need budget-friendly windows? Visit T&B Discount Window Warehouse. We'll have the right solution for you. T&B has new and surplus windows to suit any budget needs, and you'll still have spare change to finish off your renovations. Visit T&B's new superstore, Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth, or phone them on 1300 075 038. That's 1300 075 038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the EAL and AW Window Transport Group. Your number one in window transport. Now, have you had an accident on the field? Head straight to Akira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, they'll treat your broken bones, sprains, strains, cuts, or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road in Baronia, or phone them on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. They'll have you off the sidelines in no time. This is Barry Cotts here in the studio at Radio Eastern 98.1 at 17 after 9. It's three-quarter time and our EFL Game Day, or Game Evening, if you prefer, Bayswater versus Mulgrave. And we'll be back to the last quarter in just a moment. Now, let's check an AFL game that's being played this evening. Got underway around about 8:40 this evening. That's over there in Perth between Fremantle and Essendon. And it's currently quarter time, and Essendon trailing somewhat. Fremantle 5-3-33, lead Essendon 3 behind 3 points. So Essendon hasn't kicked a goal in the first quarter, so that's Fremantle 5-3-33, lead Essendon 3 behind 3 points at quarter time.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au. For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your 40.
Three-quarter time here at Bayswater Oval, 9-4-58 Mulgrave. They lead the water 6-7-43. Hope you're enjoying this broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern or on EFL.org.au. Both currently being talked to by their respective coaches, Mulgrave Ryan James and Bayswater Neil Winterton. While we're waiting to have a bit of a chat to one of the coaches, Will Taylor, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap in that third term.
Absolutely. Bayswater fought their way back in inside forward 50s, 12-11, make it 36-33 in favour of Mulgrave. The clearances, still Mulgrave dominated that one, 14-9 that turn, make it 40-20 in the clearances in the game. Marks inside forward 50s, Bayswater the 4-3 in that turn to make it 11-7. Turnovers, Bayswater 18-14 to make it 54-51 Mulgrave. And the tackle count, 17-8 in that third quarter to make it 47-31 in favour of Bayswater in the tackle count.
Beautiful, good stuff, Wilbur. All thanks to Yarra Valley Water. Be smart, choose tap. Frosty, are the Waters any chance here?
They're still close enough here. They're only 3 goals down. I'm really interested to hear what Damien Watson has to say to Ryan James at three-quarter time and ask him about that spirited move of David Wazer to full forward.
It was a magnificent move indeed. We might even hear from Braden and might even hear from Neil Winterton. Not sure, he might be a playing coach, but we'll see how we go. Just if you're joining us here, it is Mulgrave 9-4-58, leading Bayswater 6-7-43. You talked about David Wazer, Frosty. He almost single-handedly turned that game on his head.
He showed some brilliance in that quarter. He was able to set up with quick hands Lockie Ryan for a goal, and the goal he was able to snap from deep in that pocket was absolutely fantastic. He finished the quarter with 4 himself and set up the other one.
Let's quickly cross down to Damien Watson, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Ryan, your Chargers have a 15-point lead at the final change. What did you tell your team?
There's still little things that we can improve on, and just not to defend the game. We've still got to win it.
I was going to say you placed a great emphasis on attacking ball movement. How important will that be in the final term?
Definitely. We've obviously had a big season with the pre-season with the fitness, and we think that they're going to run out of petrol tickets as much as we are, and you can't defend a game, you've got to win a game.
Best of luck, Ryan.
Great work, Damien Watson, all thanks to Akira Urgent Care here on EFL Game Day. Mulgrave have broken from their huddle, and Neil Winterton is still addressing his Bayswater troops. The Lions 9-4-58. Leading the Bayswater side 6-7-43. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to EFL Game Day because all the rest of the games around the Eastern Football League begin tomorrow. Baronia taking on Ringwood. That's the game that we'll be out at tomorrow. We'll be taking the Caravan of Courage, Toot Toot, out to the Tormore Reserve. Big day. Two arguably the best teams in Division 3 this season. So tune in from 1 till 6 p.m. right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM. We'll also have numerous around the grounds reports, plenty of around the grounds reports from Division 3, and you'll be out at Balwyn tomorrow, Wilbur, for Balwyn and East Ringwood.
Certainly will be, and I'm looking forward to that one especially, see how Balwyn really fare. Obviously now been the hunted instead of the hunter. Of course, they take on East Ringwood's side who on, as I said on the huddle on Wednesday night, obviously the 10 that beat Bourne back in 09. I might see them do it again.
You love your history.
Let's quickly cross down to Braden Ingram, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Neil Winterton at the Bayswater huddle at three-quarter times. It was a really disappointing start to the third quarter. They lifted in intensity in that second half and really felt they were on top. He said that they're up to their eyeballs, and I just spoke to him quickly then. He said he reckons they've got the legs to run this out, and they've just got to run throughout the quarter, and they have to use the corridor if they're going to win.
Great work, Braden. All thanks to Akira Urgent Care. They'll have you back on the field in no time, Peter Baird.
Don't forget, in a practice game here just a fortnight ago against Lilydale, Bayswater came all over the top of Lilydale late in the game, a Division 1 side, so maybe that's a good sign for Bayswater and Neil Winston. He's confident they can run the game out.
Is that a sign of things to come? All the last patrons have made their way off Bayswater Oval. We are set for the final term here on EFL Game Day on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM or EFL.org.au. The umpire holds the ball off. The siren sounds. Ben Warren Smith, take it away. This is EFL Game Day.
15 points is the margin. Mulgrave hold the lead. The umpire balls it up in the middle now. Rucks go at it this time. We'll give that one to Nevins going in half. G in and under. It was Winterton. The umpire will come back in and restart it virtually where he did only 10 seconds ago. So I think the final term has only just started. First goal ever so important. If Mulgrave can get it, they'll be able to possibly hold Bayswater at bay. Otherwise, the Waters could get a bit of a run on if it goes their way. G got gang tackled straight after the knockout from Cleveland, who's been fantastic all day as he is the warhorse of the Mulgrave Football Club. Works tirelessly across the ground year in, year out, and it doesn't look like 2013 will be any different for the big man. The umpire once again throws it up. Evans over the top. They got it down. That was good. Rajab kicked it inside forward 50 there after a good start here. Bryce Galvin took it on the second bite. Tries to squeeze it back. He just couldn't pull it enough. Minor score is the result. That would have been a great start to the Bayswater Football Club. Unfortunately for them and their supporters, they move on to 6 goals, 8-44. It is still a 14-point margin. Mulgrave 9-4-58. It's crossed down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Boys, the drizzle stopped down here. No dew. Should be perfect conditions to play out this final term.
Thanks, Braden. Dale Cheeseman has the ball in the half-back flank. He's got players ahead of him. He looks towards them now, and he kicks towards Gilling. He'll fly from behind. Couldn't quite take the mark. Ball comes to ground. Winterton was slung after he disposed of the footy. In fact, it was Jackson, sorry.
Should have got a free there.
Umpire said no free kick, and now he's pulled out a free kick going to the waters, and guess who? Joel Galvin, an umpire's favourite, you could say. He goes short, gets a little hand pass over the top. Now here's Rajab, kicks towards goal. Not a bad-looking effort from Rajab. It goes through. Bayswater are not done with yet. The Northcote Park boy, Daniel Rajab, kicks the goal, and Bayswater are within 8 points. 9-4-58 at Mulgrave. Bayswater 7-8-50. Almost 2 minutes gone here in the fourth term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We have got a ball game bed, senior and junior.
Yeah, look, that's a start that Neil Winterton would have won, and what a great goal. It was kicked running in from the boundary line and as straight as could be.
You can sense that Neil Winterton really wants to lift his side in this last term, already getting right amongst it in a couple of stoppages, and then obviously, as Ray said, helping set up that goal there. So it's the start the Bayswater Football Club we're after. Only gone 2 minutes, they've inched closer. It's only an 8-point ball game now. So they've cut the margin by 7 at three-quarter time, and they'll look for the clearance again. But Sia Coolers, the vice-captain for Mulgrave, has been relatively quiet tonight. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Who's going to be in there? Players go after the ball. Hall was there. So too McLaughlin for Bayswater. The umpire will come in, and he might pay a free kick here to G. Once again, putting his head over the ball, I should say.
Your head is usually over your body, BWS.
Yeah, it's sitting right on top of it, isn't it, Ray? As the ball goes inside forward 50, it comes towards the Luke Simpson direction, swung around on his right boot. That was a good-looking kick too. It might bounce favourably for Jamar. He might be clever enough to snag this, and I think he is clever enough. Once again, Mulgrave get the answer. Bang, goal. That's their 10th on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And at the 3-minute mark, well, it's goal for goal early in this fourth term. Mulgrave moved to 10 goals, 4-64. It's back out to a 14-point margin. Mulgrave 7-8-50. Peter Baird.
Yeah, as teams start to run out of a bit of petrol tickets late in this game, we might see it start to open up like that. Mulgrave are able to get the quick answer back. We might see a bit of a scoring fest in this last quarter.
There was nothing pretty about the forwards for us. It was just push forward, the ball rolled, and what a great goal there.
Nauru Jamay gets his first goal for Mulgrave. Been pretty lively right throughout the game today. Mulgrave's midfield, it's been a great battle between the two midfields tonight. Advantage is taken here by the Lions. Kick up towards the middle of the ground. Taken by Simpson. He presented nicely on that occasion. He's got a couple of options long. He goes towards the advantage of Booth. Ball comes to ground now. Waters have the numbers. Mitch Galvin got it off to Schroeder. Left foot kick high up towards the true centre wing position. No one able to quite take it on hands and knees. On that occasion was Robbie Edwards, the co-captain. He brings it out this time towards Lilios, I should say. Leolios. And Wazer couldn't quite keep it in. The ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Right forward pocket, Will Taylor. Some stats that matter thanks to Tunes.
At the moment, it's 2 apiece between Mulgrave and Bayswater. I think Tim Knowles is in the hands of the trains at the moment after getting leg just before.
We'll keep our eyes across that one. I'm sure Damo and Braden will be all over that thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Players just waiting for the footy to come back in now. There'll be Nevins and Simpson to go at it. McLaughlin was there. G put his head over the footy. Bayswater players call for holding the ball. Umpire says, no, I want some limelight. Give me the footy and I'll ball it up. 25 to 30 metres out from goal. We'll see what the Waters can do here. Joel Galvin went up as the third man. Tried to extract the footy. He almost plays like a ruckman, Joel Galvin. He's that big and that tall. Comes in. And heaps of players converging the football. So 5.5 minutes gone here on EFL Gameday in the final term. Mulgrave lead this one by 14 points. 10-4-64 the Lions. 7-8-50 Bayswater, all on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So the umpire balls it up about 55 metres out from goal. Stacks on the mill once again, gives us perfect opportunity to head down to Damien Watson thanks to Akira Urgent Care. What do you got for us, Damo?
Well, boys, Mulgrave's Lockie Ryan limped off the ground. He's stretching his calf at the moment, and a number of players are doing that on the interchange bench. I suppose that's expected, being the first game of the season.
Nevins had a fresh air shot, came down to G, got the handball across to Henderson. Somehow he got tackled, almost got booted ball. The ball's still across that half-back line. Winterton on the left foot now. He needs to be cute. It was a good-looking kick too, but it was a 3-on-1 situation. Cheeseman got the handball away. That was okay running through Edwards. Kicks it was a grubber. Went into the middle of the ground, intended for Henderson. He misread the ball, picked up by Winterton. He's so lively early in this final term. He was tackled and will have a bounce. Still about just in favour of the Bayswater of the Mulgrave goals, about 80 metres out, just outside that centre square. The umpire looking to restart this game relatively quickly. It's a 14-point ball game. Cleveland goes up, got the knockdown straight to G, got the handball away. This is really good play. Mulgrave strived the ball inside forward 50. The kick was intended for Booth up there. He goes down to ground. Gets a handball away eventually. Knowles is in the goal square. He might be able to pick this up. He did somehow. Who knows how he did that? Got it to West. They're going to have the numbers. They're mucking around with it a little bit, Bayswater, but they're going to get away with it. The umpire will come in and bounce it. It's only about 2 metres out now from the goal line of Mulgrave. If they get the next one, Peter Baird, Bayswater in big trouble.
Bayswater need to get the next goal to have any hope in this game. They're already down by 14 points. They can't let that margin slip out to 20.
Right on the goal line here, they knocked it backwards to go forwards. Gang tackle, that was good play, almost nearly holding the ball. But once again, the umpire will now move to the goal square and bounce it once again. 7.5 minutes gone in this final term. A few players getting a little bit restless. Umpire just about to restart this game now. 10 metres out from goal. It was a big knock away that time by Leolios. He got it away towards Siakoulis, who bags it on his boot. You can't believe it. He has somehow plucked this one out from nowhere. And the vice-captain in his first year at Mulgrave as vice-captain slams through his first goal of the evening. Just when we said he'd been a little bit quiet, Ray Baird, he puts through what could nearly be the ceiling goal on this game.
Look, I don't know how you think he's been quiet. I think he's been a great player for Mulgrave. But that was a set play, boys. I was watching that. Big Booth there went up in the ruck. He knocked it way out to the forward pocket there where Siakoulis was waiting for it. That was definitely a set play.
A tough bloody goal too it was to kick, and he put it straight through the middle, and didn't they get around him as well? It's nearly celebration time, Ben Waterworth.
Almost. Next goal, and you would think that Mulgrave have it. They lead by 20 points. We're 8 minutes gone here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Ball back in the middle. Nevins went to try to get it, but West kicked it off the ground up towards the half-forward area. Opportunity here. A bit of a race between the two teams. Darren Murphy pushed in the back. Was he? Yes, he was. And the free kick will go the way of Darren Murphy. He's got it here at right half back.
Got to move it.
He does, but Joel Galvin's screaming for the ball in the middle of the ground. Instead, he goes up the line towards a 3-on-1 situation. Mulgrave have the numbers at the fall of the ball, and players will converge on the footy, and I think everyone will be happy to see a ball up. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care with Braden Ingram.
Guys, just speaking to some of the Basie players, Russell Combs just come off, might be done for the game with cramp, and just some of the players starting to cramp up now as well and struggling to run it out.
It's a big loss because he's actually been quite influential of half-back tonight, Russell Combe. Free kick will go against Sam Nevins in the ruck there for a push in the back, and they're off and running. Look at the man with the fluoro boots, Seb Henderson. Tucked the ball under the arm. Away he goes. Inside 50. Wonderful kick. Running into an open goal. David Wazer. He celebrates, and it's game over. Wazer kicks his 5th. Mulgrave kicked their 12th, and they lead by 26 points. The Lions 12-4, 76. Bayswater 7-8, 50. 9.5 minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Peter Baird and Ray Baird, the fat lady, has arrived.
Yeah, once again, Henderson just took him on there, and that was what broke the line open. The kick was over the top of the players contesting about 30 metres out from goal, and it really just set up Wazer just to run into an open goal. He's kicked 5. He's been a live wire all in the second half.
As you said, Pete, look, that was such strong play by Henderson. He just ran straight through the two Bayswater players who was in his way. And look, as you said, the kick was centimetre perfect. And look, this Wazer, what a inspiration he's been down there.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Braden Ingram.
Boys, Sean Leach copping an absolute pasting from the Mulgrave supporters. Just been given a yellow card. Going to find out what for, but makes it difficult now for them.
Looks as though one of the faithful have decided that a yellow Sharon is right up their alley and decided to put it in the car because we're missing a footy at the moment.
Yeah, look, the big difference in this game between the two sides, particularly since quarter time, has been that Mulgrave, they're running in numbers, particularly out of their back line, whereas Bayswater, they pick the ball up and there's no one there in support, and that's to me, that's been the big difference.
Well, the big difference now is the 26-point margin that the Lions currently hold. We've gone 11 minutes here in this final term. Ben Waterworth's called the game over. Maybe there's one last throw of the dice for Bayswater if they can get a couple of quick goals here. So the umpire to finally restart the match in the middle of the ground. This time it'll be Dwyer going up in the middle. Bit of shepherding being paid here. It'll be a free kick to Bayswater in the end. I thought it might have been given away against Dwyer that time. Got the handball away. The kick goes inside forward 50, looking for Galvin of the Bryce variety over the back of his head. Nicely trapped there by Wellsford. He runs it over the boundary line and out of bounds. It's about 40 metres out from the Bayswater goals. So they'll look to regroup in here and possibly snag one. Plenty of players form around the ball. As the umpire throws it in now, comes down towards Galvin. That time that was Joel. He got gang tackled and the umpire said it was a little bit high. So it'll be Joel Galvin to have a shot for Bayswater about 45 metres out. He's on a pretty tough angle here. Wrong side for a right footer. He knows Bayswater Oval so well, so no doubt he's had plenty of shots from this same position at training over time. And this is a very important goal.
He's been their best player today by a fair way, I reckon.
Yeah, but you look at that forward line, the difference in the two structures. Everybody's inside the forward 50 for Bayswater. Everybody.
So Joel Galvin comes in now. He kicks it high. He brings it to the top of the goal square. It might have enough legs. It was touched on the last line of defence. Rushed through for one behind. So Bayswater, it was the point they didn't need. They wanted a 6-pointer. They move on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 12.5-minute mark to 7-9-51. 15 points in arrears of Mulgrave, 12-4-76.
Wellsford to bring it in. It's a good kick as well, taken by the man with flushy boots, Seb Henderson, who's just shown little bits and pieces.
You like
been
those
very
boots.
Consistent. Yeah, they stand out and they are orange, and I do have a little bit of affiliation with that. As a kick up towards the true centre wing position, mark taken by Ryan Hanley on the outer side. He's been one of Bayswater's best as well. Short chip, he's good. He's found one of the Galvin boys. I'm pretty sure it's Bryce as well. Goes inside 50, the kick. It wasn't great in the end. Ball comes to ground. Mulgrave again with the numbers. Parker went in and got the footy and won himself and kept the ball inside defensive 50. We'll see a ball up 30 metres out from goal. Mulgrave 12-4-76. Lead the Waters 7-9-51. Ball comes to ground now. Roper try to extract the football. Leading in the race there was Lester. Did well. Put his head over the footy. One-handed pick up there by Parker. A little bit of class. That was not a classy kick, though. No. The left foot went out of bounds on the full. And the Waters will receive the free kick just near the Mulgrave coaching box.
Encouraging signs for Mulgrave, Ray, when players like Parker haven't been so dominant tonight like they have been in recent years, and the side's playing well.
Look, it's been a mix of everybody in the team doing their little bit, and that's why they're in front.
McLaughlin's got it about 70 metres out from goal, tucked up on the boundary, kicks towards the hot spot. Who's going to be there for the Waters? Thumped away by Henderson in the end. Ball comes to ground, and the Mulgrave look to get up towards true centre wing position. If it sits here for the Lions, they are in business. Big Booth does some nice work at below his knees. Beautiful hand pass, sets up Lester, sweeps the hand pass over the top. Ball has to bounce nicely here for the Lions, and it didn't. And the Waters come back. We threw Murray, picks it up now. Little dribbling hand pass. Was that a high tackle?
Because he threw that.
He did. And Schroeder will take the free kick. He goes out towards the outer side, and the Waters are away. Taken here on the outer side for the Waters by Mitch Galvin. And Harrington now goes up towards the half-forward area. Burton turns a 360. The kick-in ball was pretty ordinary in the end. Parker took the mark up towards the half-forward line. Surely a shove by Wazer in the end. Umpire didn't pay it. Gilling goes inside 50 in the end, out of bounds on the fall. And we will see in fact, they might have just bounced beforehand. So a boundary throw will occur in the right forward pocket. It's Mulgrave 12-4-76 to Bayswater 7-9-51, 14.5 minutes gone.
Look, for Bayswater to win this game, they just got to throw caution to the wind now. We're halfway through the last quarter. They're 5 goals plus down. They've got to go down the corridor and be direct.
Well, they've been terrific at all night. Mulgrave is putting the answer on the board this time. Booth got the back spot. The umpire thought might have blown his whistle then. It might have come from the crowd. The players hit the deck, and there is Leolios. The umpire will eventually come in and bounce. We're right near that boundary line. Forward pocket for Mulgrave. Ben Gilling's the last man to get up. He's been well held in his second half after presenting brilliantly in the first half, but somewhat has become a little bit of a decoy in the end to David Wazer. The ball's knocked out. It's only a few metres out. G goes in hard again, but it was rushed over for one behind. So another score on the board for Lions tonight. 26-point lead. They lead at 12-5-77. 7-9-51 is Bayswater.
Certainly are. The Lions will get the ball back though. Leicester feeds a hand pass back in the middle of Bayswater Oval. On hands and knees. Trying to extract the football on that occasion for Mulgrave was Cheeseman, but to no avail. Lions lead this one by 26 points. 16 minutes gone here in the fourth term on EFL Gameday. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 FM and EFL.org.au. Knowles picks the ball up from the stoppage, but he's immediately tackled, and we'll see a third ball up. He's been outstanding, Tim Knowles, Beards.
Oh, he's been fantastic. He's just so classy in the way he uses the ball when he gets possession.
Booth thumps the ball forward. Henderson picks it up, tries to dribble it forward. Free kick almost to Galvin of Joel the variety, and he will receive it at halfback.
Staking a real claim for best on ground, even though his team's nearly 5 goals down.
Whenever I see him play Joel Galvin, he's close to best on ground. He's just incredibly consistent, and that's what makes him such a great player. Combe takes it, but the kick in board was poor, and G got a little tap to the head after he took the mark, so he'll probably be advanced 25 metres here.
A real Trojan workhorse of the game today from Adam G.
Certainly is. He's got the ball on the outer side. So long kick up towards the half-forward area. Booth got rid of his opponent and took the mark. Nicely done as well. A heap of players inside forward 50. He squares it up in the end, but it's a poor kick. And the Waters again get back in the hole. Is that Joel Galvin once again? He works very hard.
Not scared to put his body on the line going across in front of the pack again. And that's why he's earned himself a 25-metre penalty here, because he's just taken that knock because he knew it was going to come, and he's just been able to advance his side by another 25 metres.
Well, he did smart play too, and he went out wide, but that's not necessarily the right way to go as we cross the 18-minute mark in this final term. So Bayswater drive the ball long inside forward 50 now. It's going over the back of the pack. Running onto it is Mitch Galvin, or in fact it was Brereton. Couldn't get a handle on the ball. It was eventually rushed through for a behind. That is their 10th, the Bayswater Football Club, moving them on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to 7-10-52. Mulgrave 12-5-77. They're using up all their chances.
They certainly are. Wellsford kicks to himself and goes out towards the outer side of Bayswater Oval. Edwards is in position A. Was able to spoil the ball in the end, but a clever little tap puts Winton in a good advantage here. Very clever chip around the body. Oh, dropped an easy mark in the end, Joel Galvin, but he might go back and mop up his own work. Kick from Burton up towards the forward pocket. Able to pick it up cleanly here, the Waters. A hand pass comes back, but straight to Mulgrave, and that's a little clumsy in the end by the Waters. And a free kick will go to Adam G. Once again at the bottom of the pack. He's got it at the right back pocket, in front of a number of cars here at Bayswater Oval. I reckon the gates for cars closed at just before 7 p.m. tonight. As the ball goes out towards the outer side. Here's Knowles, just with a little bit of class and poise. Scotty Pendlebury style. Remember Ryan James likened him to Pendlebury earlier on last year, and he still has got that little bit of a feel to him. Winterton's got the ball here for Bayswater though. In the middle, he gets a hand pass over the top to Jackson. Jackson up towards half forward. The kick is okay, but once again Mulgrave have the numbers. Jackson got a little hand pass out towards Burton, but G again at the bottom of the pack gets a hand pass out, but it opens up for Winterton. Surely the coach can put the goal on the board. He's just off to the right hand side, behind for the Waters. That is their 12th behind, I think. 11th behind. The scoreboard is very up to date. Nicely done, Wilbur. 7-11-53. Mulgrave 12-5. 77. 19 and a half minutes gone. Ray Baird on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, look, there's been nothing pretty about the last 5 minutes. Look, Bayswater, they're trying everything to get the ball forward and score, but just the harassment and the pressure that the Mulgrave defenders are putting on them has been fantastic.
Well, Wellsford kicked it to Jemay, who tried to go for the Cleveland direction. Bayswater are going to mop it up. This is Damien Murray just outside 50. Kicks the ball in right down Cleveland's throat. He dropped what he probably should have taken. The Lions are going to clear it out. A risky kick, but it bounced just inside the line, and we'll have a boundary throw in. About 75 metres out from the Bayswater goals.
Sorry, Frosty, I was going to ask you, Bayswater always falling down when they kick inside 50. Is it poor disposal or a lack of target?
The difference between the two sides today is just Mulgrave are a lot cleaner in the way they use the ball. Bayswater have butchered their delivery inside 50 on numerous occasions.
Well, it's going to be Mulgrave again to get the clearance. The kick was a scrubber. Was looking for Ben Gilling. The ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds. Now about 75 metres out from the Mulgrave goals rate.
Look, I agree with what you said, Peter. Bayswater, they're trying to hit targets, whereas Mulgrave, half the time they're putting the ball out in front of their player so that he can run onto it.
Well, this time going up in the ruck for Mulgrave was Henderson, and he did all the work, and he runs 5 metres backwards, gets a handball away, goes for the 1-2. He might squeeze a kick out of here somehow.
Nice.
That was clever too. Found a teammate in Siakoulis. He wants to slow things down. Smart footballer. He'll kick it inside 50 now. Goes towards the Gilling direction, flying over the back. That's a great mark there, taken by Jaden Murphy. He flew at the right time and had some good juke. So across the half-back line, it'll be Bayswater looking to rebound again. They go backwards. Not too convinced about that type of kick. Finds Damien Murray. He'll take off towards the member side. Once again, kicks it down towards the wing position. You'd expect Parker to go up for this one, but he left it for Lester. He dropped what he probably should have taken. Parker went in really hard and laid a great tackle. And the umpire will come in and bounce it right in front of our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders.
He's come out of the fence here and he's kicked it to 3 Mulgrave players. They could have raffled that.
So the umpire to bring it back into play again. Throws it up. This time it was Nevins went up unattended, got the knockdown, but Mulgrave got the clearance. It goes inside forward, 53-on-1 situation. Who's going to be at the fall? The ball that was well done there. That time by Schroeder to kick the ball off the ground into the middle of the park now at Bayswater Oval. Scoots out towards Leicester. He wants to send the ball out wide. It was a good kick too. Murray's given away a free kick. That was a silly free kick. It might even be advantage paid here. Mulgrave go inside forward 50. It was a shank of a kick to the forward pocket. Who's going to be up to the task? Booth. He wants to get amongst the goals. He hasn't kicked a miracle goal, has he? I think he has, the big man. Adam Booth, eat your heart out. And that's the celebration goal. Look at them get around each other too as Mulgrave stream away in the first game of the season 2013. It's the twilight night game, showcase game, and they're doing it well too, Ray.
Look, once again, I don't think he even looked at that. He just kicked it and it went straight through the middle. Maybe the goal of the day in my book.
Miraculous.
13-5-83 are the Lions. Bayswater 7-11. 53. Same amount of scoring shots, Will Taylor, on the Choose Tap stat sheet. Some of the other more important stats.
Absolutely. Mulgrave completely dominating in this quarter. 11-9 inside forward 50s. The clearances now have gone to 11-6 in favour of Mulgrave, and also the turnover count at Mulgrave unfortunately winning that one 11-7.
Add another clearance so to Mulgrave, Will, because Leicester got the kick out wide. David West has been pretty lively today. He gets a little hand pass over the top. Mulgrave go inside towards forward 50 at the fall of the ball as Jamer. Couldn't quite pick it up cleanly. Booth on hands and knees. Picked up by Knowles. Gets a little hand pass over the top. The kick towards goal looks very nice, and it's gone through. It really is party time for Mulgrave. And they put another goal on the board, their 14th for the day. They go on to 14-5-89. And Bayswater 7-11-53. 23 minutes gone here in the fourth term on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Party time, a Bayswater Fiesta Ray Baird.
Who kicked that one, Benny?
Not sure. That's why I didn't call it.
Here he is coming off now.
There you are. Coming off the ground now.
Yeah, that's him.
Throw him under a bus next time, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Sorry, mate. As you know, it's past my bedtime usually. So.
Caught the early bird at 4 o'clock, and he's doing
Lockie
well to
Ryan,
still be
boys.
here at 10 p.m. The ball's back in the middle of the ground.
Lockie Ryan, that goal was. He's kicked 3 for the night.
36 points is the margin. Every goal counts when it gets to the end of the season, so why not keep piling them on? It'll be McLaughlin this time for Bayswater, the big man trying to get down and trap the ball. He did a great job too. Eventually got the handball out, looking for Joel Galvin. He hit the deck. He was gang tackled by Parker and friends, that being Nauru Jameer, or Jamay. We've said it a few different ways tonight,
we have.
but he's definitely caught our attention, and we look forward to calling him as the year goes on. This time Cleveland got the knockdown, got it to Peter Beardsman in G, got the handball across to Liam Wellsford, who's had a super game across half-back and working hard in the middle of the ground as well. They've got the numbers. Cleveland, for a big man, he did so well to pick the ball off the deck, kicks it inside the forward for 50. Leolios, he's been quiet, but he wants to finish with a goal, and he's pushed it to the left-hand side. He had the chance to cover himself in glory, but he missed the opportunity. The minus score is the result. That's Mulgrave's 7th. They move on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to 14 goals. 6 in fact. Thank you, Wilbur. 90, 27 points ahead. 53 are the Bayswater Football Club.
McLeod brings it out towards the half-forward area, and mark's been taken by Damien Murray. They'll look to move it Again through the middle of the ground. Galvin up towards true centre half forward position, but again straight to Mulgrave. The delivery, Peter Baird, has been ordinary by Bayswater inside forward 50 tonight.
Yeah, that last kick, they've just butchered it time and time again, and it allows Mulgrave to get numbers back, set up, turn the ball over and create their own thrust forward from half-back.
Young ends up with it and goes inboard to Darren Butler, who looks very comfy in a Mulgrave jumper. So does Lockie Ryan, who's certainly been one of the best on ground today. Good signs for Ryan James and his Mulgrave boys. High kick up towards true centre half forward. It's all Bayswater though. And coming across and taking a big mark and giving Wazer a bit of a bump afterwards.
I don't think he's Bayswater's favourite player, David Wazer.
I don't think he is either. As the ball comes out to Mitch Galvin, right half back broadcast side. It's the Lions lead this one almost by 40 points. They lead by 37 points. Oh no! Friendly fire in the end as Bryce Galvin and Ryan Hanley in the end tried to fumble for the ball as G and a few Mulgrave players.
Not necessary, Galvin. He's given away a free kick here.
Yeah, pretty ordinary.
And in comes brother Mitch to lend some support.
It's on now as players come from everywhere. I'm sure the umpires will throw out a couple of cards.
25-metre penalty's been paid here to DC
Umpire's
Corliss,
going to keep moving.
and he'll end up running on and kicking a goal here if the umpire lets play go on.
I don't know if the umpire's going to let play on.
I'm pretty sure he has. So Sia Corliss gives the 1-2. Liolios and him are playing with it. Sia Corliss tried to be tricky. He tried to be too cute. Liolios was calling for it. And it goes through for one behind. Except the umpire allowed that play to go, has decided that seeing that it didn't go through for a goal, will call this one back. So the ball will come back to the centre wing position. He had originally paid a 25-metre penalty to Sia Corliss, so expect to have him probably a shot from about 55 metres out. And he may not have anyone on the mark here either.
Mitch Galvin, yellow card, boys.
All right, so it's pretty messy in the end. Just in front of us here in the broadcast position, Ray Ninger and Damien Watson right in front of them. Apparently, Mitch Galvin has been given a yellow card. Pretty disciplined in the end. Looks like his brother Joel's been given one as well.
He's just remonstrating, boys.
Yeah.
So the vice captain, his father Gary on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I mean, that's stupid football by Bayswater, boys. Look, you can't be going there, doing the rough stuff.
Sia Corliss lets loose. He brings it back. He just couldn't do it enough. It was probably just beyond his range. And the mark was taken at the last line of defence, and Bayswater, well, they're going to chip it around. You wouldn't expect too long to be left in this match. They're in the back pocket, and they just need to get out of that danger zone.
Look, that all started because there was nothing in it, really. It was just, I feel, the fact that it was David Wazer that it went for the ball, and with two Bayswater players, and there was a crash of players.
So we've got take three. So Sia Corliss once again from 55 metres out. Now he goes to Nauru Jamay. And he'll have a shot from about 40 metres out, very acute angle. So it took a few minutes for everybody to work out what was going on. We had 3 takes at it. The umpire's just waiting for Mulgrave to kick a goal, really. We're not going to go for take 4. Nauru Jamay, he'll come in. Very lively game from Jamay.
This will be his free second.
Comes in now. On the right boot, he works this back beautifully. I think he's put this straight through the middle. That is a super goal. That's one way to salute the fans, the Bayswater faithful. Mulgrave running away with this game in round 1 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 15 goals, 696. Bayswater 7-11, 53. What a game by the Lions, Ray. I know you tipped him. I know I tipped him.
I did, but look, as I said, that was a no-win situation for Bayswater. There was nothing to prove. If they'd have just got on with the game, it would have been a throw-in on the centre wing. Instead of that, at the 30, 40 metres down the ground, Mulgrave having a shot for goal, and now they're another goal behind.
Well, in the end, it's really blown out. It's a 43-point margin in favour of the Lions.
It's big.
96-53. We're approaching the 29-minute mark of this final term. You expect this quarter would go over 30 minutes because there has been a fair few stoppages in play for some ill-disciplined acts.
Boundary.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care, Braden Ingram.
Frosty, you're getting a couple of unfavourable mentions down here from the Mulgrave boys. Not the biggest fans of yours right now.
Why is that, Braden?
I think there's just a couple of mentions of the top 50 and that he wasn't really on them throughout the week. So just trying to remind him of that.
Oh, very interesting. There's been a couple of players who put their hand up for top 50 recognition tonight, Frosty. Lockie Ryan might be one of them. Dean Seacoulis might be another. As the ball comes out for the Waters. High kick up towards the full forward area. Galvin was
Great
there.
mark.
And over the back, a magnificent mark has been taken in the end by Bryce Galvin. He'll have a shot after the siren, but it won't matter too much because Mulgrave, in the end, have pantsed Bayswater. 15-6-96. The Mulgrave score will stand. In fact, it might be Tim Hall who's going back and having a shot on goal. So Bayswater are 7-11-53 at the moment. Hall will go back and look to make this a 37-point margin. Bayswater haven't kicked terribly accurate tonight. Tim Hall comes in, 30 metres out, directly in front, kicks towards goal, straight through the middle it goes. Bayswater finish on 8-11-59 to the Mulgrave side, 15-6-96, a 37-point margin. Well done to Ryan James and the team. And speaking of Ryan James, let's cross down to him with Damien Watson, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Ryan, 49-point victory, first game of the season. You must be satisfied with that result, and that must instill a lot of confidence into your playing group.
Yeah, it's just good validation for the group. They've had a big summer, and like I said to the boys before the game, it's an honour that the EFL gave us to play in this game, and big game, and they did the job. Proud of them.
Speaking of a big summer, how important was fitness as an aspect of the game in that last quarter?
I think the stats spoke for themselves. At half-time it was a pretty even game, and I think both teams were pretty stuffed towards the end, but we were the least stuffed.
You must be proud. A lot of laughter in the box for that too. You must be proud of the way that your boys managed to quell every, I suppose, fight back from the Bayswater Football Club right throughout the game. Yeah,
they're an awesome group to coach, and we know that there's going to be a few more bumps along the road, but yeah, they withstood everything, which was good.
David Wazer was a bit of an X-factor in that third term, kicking 4 goals for the quarter. You must be proud of his efforts. It really was a defining moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wazer's a superstar. I played in the Premiership with him, and he can look like he's no good for a half and then turn it on, and he did. He pretty much turned the game in the third quarter.
Just lastly, what do you think about the novelty of night football?
I think it's good. I obviously played in another league before this. Eastern Footy League's probably the best league by a mile, and I think the crowd speaks for itself, and the boys were excited all summer, so it's a good result.
Congratulations, mate. Go and enjoy yourself.
Thanks, mate.
Great work, Damien Watson with Ryan James. A very, very happy and satisfied Ryan James, it has to be said. Mulgrave coming off the ground now. Great supporter group has come to watch the Lions play, and they are very, very happy with their team's performance tonight. While Bayswater are just in the middle of Bayswater Oval at the moment and just sort of assessing what has all gone down over the past
It's going to be a big song in those club rooms, isn't it?
No doubt about that. Mulgrave, a very proud club, and they're certainly on the up, it looks like. And Braden Ingram and Damien Watson will certainly follow the boys in. Wilbur, quickly, some stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, Mulgrave dominate every single stat but two. Of course, inside forward 50 to Mulgrave to 44 by Bayswater. Clearances 53 to 28. I think that was the difference in that game for sure in favour of Mulgrave. Marks inside forward 50, 12 to 8 in favour of Bayswater. The turnovers, Mulgrave 67 to Bayswater 59. And I believe we've got the song.
We've got the song. Let's cross down Boundary side. This isn't the song. If it is, Frosty, it sounds like you in the shower in the morning.
You've been looking through my bedroom window.
Definitely not.
And a little bit of yellow as well.
Great direction, great rendition, I should say, of the Mulgrave Football Club theme song. Very, very, very proud night for Mulgrave as Bayswater come off the ground. They were in the middle of Bayswater Oval for quite some time. Look at Joel Gowan, he really is a leader, just getting around his players. I'm pretty sure he was the guy that would have kept them out there in the time being. They'll be pretty disappointed, Frosty, Bayswater coming off that ground.
Oh, they've only got themselves to blame, though. Their disposal really let them down tonight, and that's probably the difference between the two sides. Yeah, they were beaten around clearances, but they had enough of the ball. They had enough of the ball inside their forward 50. They only went down, according to Will's stats, by 6 in the inside 50 counts. Correct. So they had enough of the ball down there to really push this game. I don't think they deserved